All right, guys. This is Tai Zen. Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. I'm doing an emergency broadcast here, guys. All right, guys, from downtown Bangkok. And before I get started on this topic of how to take profits during this bull market, I just want to confirm that you guys can hear me. So if you guys are watching this right now and you guys can hear me, could you leave a comment in the YouTube chat and just say that I hear you, and then maybe what city you're in. Okay. All right. So I got. Okay. So, okay, I got confirmation that people can hear me, even as far as in Miami. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this this broadcast. All right. So I have a list of stuff here that I'm going to cover, and you guys don't have to write it down. I'm going to leave it under the video after I finish. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave it in the under the video, and I'm gonna leave it under the video on my website after I finish. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started here, guys, and explain the reason why I have to do this emergency broadcast. We've been broadcasting and educating the public on how to trade and invest in cryptocurrency since 2013. We are one of the first channels that I know of that started talking about trading and investing in cryptocurrencies back when everybody thought that it was a scam. Okay, so I've never had to do an emergency broadcast like this before, and this is the first time I'm doing it because I'm getting so many questions, so many text messages, and so many phone calls from our trading students. And so this broadcast is to answer those questions for our students that are in our cryptocurrency investing blueprint training program. You can learn more about the cryptocurrency investing blueprint at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Okay, so I'm answering these questions for them, and I think that it's going to benefit the public too. That's why I made this a public broadcast instead of having it a private broadcast. Okay, because we're just flooded with questions about taking profits, especially after this market crashed. All right, so let me. I have a list of stuff here that I need to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the three situations that you guys are in right now. The first situation is that your portfolio is not big enough for you to retire or do anything that's life changing. For example, let's say that you live in America or the Western countries, and you put in $1,000, and now your portfolio is $20,000, $50,000, right? That's not big enough to allow you to retire from your day job or get married to your dream girl or start college or do something that's life-changing in your life, okay? But it is enough money for you to get started trading and investing so that you can grow that money even bigger, all right? So that's the first situation that some of you guys might be in right now. The second situation that some of you guys are in right now is that your portfolio has enough money in it, and it has just enough, okay? It has just enough money in it for you to retire and quit your day job. And it could be, and when I say retire and quit your day job, I'm talking about you have enough money in there to give yourself about at a minimum of 5 to 10 years of runway. So which means that runway is how much money you have to cover your monthly living expenses, and that you can do that for 5 to 10 years for early retirement, or 20, 30, 40 years for a longer retirement. Okay, so when you guys hear me say that you have enough money in your portfolio to retire early, I'm talking about a minimum of 5 to 10 years worth of runway or living expenses. Okay, so in America, we call your monthly living expenses runway. For example, if I need $5,000 a month to pay all my bills, my house, my rent, my electricity, my gasoline, my food, and everything, then to take care of me, my wife, and 4 kids, then that $5,000 a month would be considered runway for 1 month. Now, if I saved $10,000, then that means I have 2 months of runway. And then if I have $50,000, then I have 10 months of runway. So for me to have 5 years worth of runway, then I would take the 5,000 a month times 12 months. That would be $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year times 5 years. That's $300,000. So when I say early retirement, that means that I need to have at least $300,000 inside my portfolio where I can take out the $300,000 so that I can quit my day job and start early retirement. The reason why I do not recommend less than 5 years of runway is because historically in the cryptocurrency market, the bear markets have lasted, as short as 1 year. It could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 4 years. So because of that, we cannot rely on just 1 or 2 years of runway. So far in the history of cryptocurrencies, we have not had a bear market that's longer than 4 or 5 years. So I believe that if you have at least 5 years worth of runway before you retire, then you have enough to cover all your living expenses before the next bull market comes and you can make some more money. All right. So that's the reason why I say it's 5 years. So some of you guys in the second situation that I mentioned have just enough money or to retire for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or something like that. Okay. So the third situation is you have enough to not worry about money again. Okay. So for example, like I had enough money in my portfolio, and my business partner, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com, both of us had enough money in our cryptocurrency portfolio to have enough money to where we can take it out and retire for the rest of our life and not have to worry about that again. Okay, so that's the 3 situations that you can be in right now. So you need to ask yourself, okay, you need to ask yourself, what situation am I in? Now, a lot of you guys for you guys, life-changing profits may be you make enough money to go to college, you make enough money to buy your new car, you make enough money to buy a house, or make enough money to marry your dream woman or whatever. But it doesn't matter what you guys consider as life-changing. In this broadcast, when I talk about life-changing, I'm just going to refer to as being able to retire early and quit your day job, because most of our students that come to learn from us, their goal is to be able to quit their day job and be able to trade full-time, or to do the things that they want to do in life, or maybe even to do a lower paying day job, but having and be okay with it, as long as they're doing something they enjoy, and then still have enough money to pay for their living expenses while they wait for the next bull market. Okay, so I'm going to pause right there. I just talked about the 3 situations that you could be in right now. You're in a situation where you don't have enough money for retirement. You have enough money for a short-term or long-term retirement, and then, or you have enough money to where it doesn't matter. You can take out a big chunk and never have to worry about money again. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there real quick to see if any of you guys have any questions in the YouTube comments or in our private group chat for our cryptocurrency investing blueprint students. So anyone have any questions about what I just said so far? Please keep the questions related to those 3 situations I just talked about. I'm going to answer other questions and talk about other things about the profit taking, so you guys don't have to jump ahead and start asking me questions that I'm going to talk about anyways. Okay, so Tommy, you have any questions? If you do, unmute your mic. And okay, so Okay. I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions from anyone. Okay. So this is the number. So the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is this. The number one problem that the majority of our trading students that we coach, the majority of the problem that they have about taking profits is that they don't know how much profits they need. Now, when I say this, it's going to sound crazy to you guys, but if you come and ask me, hey, Ty, should I take a plane, a train, or a bus, or a motorcycle, or a bicycle, or a boat? I'm not going to know how to answer your question because I don't know where you're going. Okay, I'm in downtown Bangkok, right next to the most luxurious shopping center in Southeast Asia called Icon Siam. It's right here in front of me as I'm broadcasting to you guys. I'm on the riverfront at the Chao Phraya River in downtown Bangkok. If you guys were here with me and you said you wanted to fly to, or you want to go to New York City, or you want to go to Saigon, Vietnam, then I can tell you, if you go to Saigon, Vietnam, right? If you want to go there fast, you can take the airplane. If you want to go there and enjoy the scenery, you can take a tour bus, or you can take a taxi, or you can take an Uber, or you can take a Grab, or you can take the train, or you can take the tour boats. Okay, there's lots of ways. Now, if you want to go to New York City, probably the best way is to go by airplane. Okay, you're not going to be able to go by train. You're not going to be able to go by bicycle. You're not going to go by a car or anything like that. So when our students ask us, hey, when do I take profits, or how much profits do I take? I always remind them, you got to know what your personal financial goals are. And I'll use myself as an example. In 2017, when I had enough money in my portfolio to where I remember in the beginning of 2017, I already had enough money in my portfolio to retire early for 5 to 10 years, but I didn't take it out yet, right? So what I did was at that time, I remember I was still being very, very conservative with my money. I was being very careful how I spend money, and I tried to avoid spending money anywhere, and just to leave my money in my crypto portfolio. I remember at that time, my bank account was down to probably less than $1,000 US. Okay. It was very stressful for me at that time because I had left all my money in crypto. 100% of all the money I had was in crypto and nothing else. I didn't even have more than $1,000 in my bank account at that time, at the beginning of 2017. Okay. And the reason why I did that was because I had such strong faith and confidence in the crypto market that this was going to, hold on real quick, guys. I thought I'd turn this off, but it won't. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so I thought I turned everything off, but it wasn't. My students keep calling me. Okay, so what happened was I kept my money in there, and when the market gave me an opportunity, that's when I took profits. Okay, so you got to know your personal financial goals. If you don't know where you need to be, then no one can help you. It doesn't matter how good of a trader I am, right? I cannot help you if you don't know where you are going, okay, or where you want to go, right? Now, I remember when I was trying to learn how to trade and make money and in America, and I remember going to these seminars and these conferences where the speaker at the front of the room, they would tell me, hey, write down, how much money you want to make and all this shit, And I always thought that to be weird. I always thought that it's like, okay, I write down I want to make $1,000 a day. Most of the people in the room, they would either write down they want to make $100 a day or $500 a day or $1,000 a day. And I always thought that's kind of weird. Like, can you really just make $100 a day trading consistently? Can you really make $500 a day or $1,000 a day? And the answer is this, guys. The answer is that is extremely, extremely difficult. I have met lots of traders in my life, and I don't think I have ever met any traders that can consistently make $500 a day or consistently make $1,000 a day. And if I did, there's only one or two of them. Okay, and I have met thousands of traders. So to me, that's not how trading really works in the real world. In the real world, trading works when you follow a trend and you follow a trend and you make a big lump sum, a big chunk of life-changing profits. And when you get that, you have to spend that money carefully. Like, let's say you get a big chunk of $100,000 or $1,000,000. You can't just go and spend it all. Like, I knew that I needed $50,000 a year to take care of my family and pay for all my living expenses. So if if I have if I make $100,000, I know that this money can pay me for my living expenses for the next 5 years. I mean, for the next 2 years. So because of that, I have to put that money in the bank account and just use a little bit, 5,000 each month, and that's it. I'm not going to go out there and use $20,000 that month and then wonder why I don't have enough money for the rest of the time while I'm waiting for another big win in the markets. Okay, so because of that, when you know your personal financial goals, and if you're watching this broadcast right now, I want you guys, like some of you guys, even though I've explained it 1,000 times, you guys are still like, I don't know how much I need, or I don't know how much money I need, or I don't know what I want to do. Well, if you don't know what you want to do, I don't know what you want to do. No one's going to know, right? So for you guys who are not sure, you're not clear, you're not sure what you want to do, my strongest recommendation is calculate how much you need for your living expenses each month so that you can retire early. So for example, for me, 4,000 or 5,000, that was all I needed to retire early. Okay. Now, I would calculate the number based on where you want to live. For example, when I was living in Dallas, okay, in the city of Dallas, in the state of Texas, in America, my monthly living expenses were, let's just say, $4,000. Now I'm living in Bangkok, it's a little bit less, but I'm not going to count it based on that. Okay, I'm not going to count it based on Bangkok because at the time that I took profits to retire, I had no plans to go and live in Bangkok or in Vietnam or any place like that. My goal was to live in San Diego, in California, or in Dallas, Texas, right? So because of that, I'd use the number 4 or 5,000 a month, and then I would multiply that by 12, and then I would multiply it by 5 years or 10 years, and then that's the number that I had in mind that I was aiming for. Okay, so if you don't know how to calculate your personal financial goals, it's very simple. Just write down what it is that you want to do in your to retire early and quit your day job, and just start with that. You can put down the cars, the Lambos, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the motorcycles, the Rolex watches, the wives and the girlfriends, all that you put later. But just start with, what does it take for you to be able to quit your day job? Just start with that first, okay? All right, I'm going to pause right there. Oh, no, before I take questions, let me just say something else too. I recommend you start with quitting your day job first. And this is something I do not recommend that you start with first, is paying off debt. Okay, some of you guys got credit card debt. Some of you guys got a house debt. Some of you guys got a car debt. And you think that, oh, let me pay off my $30,000 car debt, or let me pay off my $100,000 house debt. Okay, I do not recommend that be your first goal. Just so you guys know that. I do not recommend that should be your first goal, because that is not a good use of money. And the reason why I say that is because if you can take out $100,000 profit out of the markets, why would you go use that to pay off debt for, when that money can be used to earn more money? Okay, that money can be used to earn more money, right? So to give you guys an example, when I became a millionaire in 2017, I had enough money. I easily had enough money to pay off my $180,000 house debt in Dallas. And I never did, because I have a good credit score. And so because of that, I was getting a 3.62% interest rate on my house. So I refused to take $180,000 and go pay off the debt for my house when I can take that same $180,000 and there's 10 different things that I can do with that money that will earn more than 3.62% interest where I can pay the house payments each month. So I know some of you guys think that, oh, if I pay off this debt, I'll feel better. Remember, guys, when it comes down to money, it's all about numbers, okay? Whenever you make a decision, you got to ask yourself, do these numbers make sense? If it doesn't make sense, don't do it, all right? So start with the goal of quitting your day job. And then number 2 is avoid paying off your debt as your first goal, okay? Like the debt is the last thing that I pay off, okay? Some of you guys in America, you guys have been scammed by the college system and you guys now owe $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 worth of school debt or student debt. That is the last thing that I would pay, okay? Even if I had $1 billion, that would be the last thing that I would pay, okay? Because that right there, that debt, paying off that debt does nothing, okay? I would rather take that money and go help out the poor people or the homeless people or help people that's sick or something before I go pay off debt, okay? Just drag that out as long as you can, all right? So my policy is never put good money to a bad use. And paying off debt, student debt, debt with low interest rates, things like that, that's a very bad use of money, all right? So before I go to the next part, does anyone have any questions about your personal financial goals, or if you have any questions about that, how to figure it out, or anything like that? Okay. Any questions from the YouTube or from our private coaching group? Okay. The questions should be about your personal financial goals, how to find out about it, how to calculate it, and things like that.
Hey, Tai, can I go here?
Yeah. Okay.
Tai, my question is regarding when we are talking about personal financial goals in case of buying a house. So should we consider the whole amount of the house as lump sum, or should we consider that taking a loan and considering it as a part of monthly expenses, the EMI as
Oh,
part of monthly expenses?
okay. I would do both. Okay. So let me just repeat the question so that I make sure that I understand you. Your question is when your goal, your personal financial goal is to buy a house. Should you use the full amount of the house as your goal, or should you use the down payment and the monthly payments as the goal, right? So,
Right.
for example, like in America, we can put a down payment of like 3%, 3.5%, up to 20%. Like the standard is you're supposed to put a 20% down payment before the bank loans you the money, the other 80%, so you can buy the house. But there's 100 different ways you can lower that amount down to like 3.5%, 5% to buy the house. Okay. Now, I personally don't recommend that. You know, if I believe that if you don't have 10 to 20% down payment to buy a house or whatever it is that you're buying, if you cannot put down 10 to 20% on it, I don't recommend that people buy it at all. Matter of fact, I don't recommend people buy it at all unless they have like 50% or they can pay cash for it. Like I bought this condo here. It's like $1.1 million, the one I'm in right now. And I just paid cash for it. Okay. The reason why is because there's so much things that you can do with that money, especially it depends upon what country you're in. But like, especially if you're in the Western countries, the interest rates are very low. So because of that, I would not try to pay off the whole house. I would just pay the interest, whether it's 2 or 3%, and then I would make money that's more than that 3% to pay for that. Okay, but I would recommend that you calculate the minimum amount, which is the 20% down payment, and then I would also calculate like maybe 5 years, 3 to 5 years of house payments for that house. So for example, okay, if I was to buy this condo and I wanted to buy it and did not want to pay cash for it, then I would make sure that I have $200,000 to pay the 20% down payment, and then for the remainder of the 800,000 or 900,000 that I borrow from the bank, I would see how much the monthly payments are. And let's just say that the monthly payments are $4,000 a month. Then I would take that $4,000 a month and multiply it out to 3 to 5 years and have enough money to cover my house payments for the next 3 to 5 years. So in this example, if I calculate that it's $4,000 a month, that's 4 times 12 is $48,000 a year to pay the bank on this condo. That would be, let's just round it off to 50,000 so the math is easy while I'm talking. So 50,000 times 5, that would be $250,000. So I would make sure that my goal would be to, if I was going on the low end, I would take out $200,000 for the 20% down payment and the $250,000 and added to that for 5 years worth of monthly payments. So that gives me $450,000. So instead of putting a goal of 1.1 million to pay for this condo in cash right away, I would just take out 450,000 and use that as my number, my personal financial goal to get the same condo. If I wanted to go with the monthly payments instead of just making a cash payment for the house or the condo. So does that answer your question there, Ashwani?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Let me just check here to make sure there's no other question here. See, you guys, you guys are not, I'm going to share this with you guys, and you guys might think I'm jumping on your ass about this, but we got one viewer asking me, is proof of work better than proof of stake in the long term? To me, that's like the dumbest fucking question you could possibly ask me when I'm doing an emergency broadcast about how to take profits. And you're asking me about proof of stake versus proof of work, So just, guys, just focus the questions on how to take profits in the market conditions that we're in right now. All right. So, okay. All right. So the next thing is, now that you guys, the first thing I covered was know your current situation, which is know your current situation. Your 3 situations that you're in, whether you don't have enough money to retire, you have enough money to retire, or you got enough money in your portfolio where you don't have to worry about money. Those 3 situations. And the second thing that I want you guys to know is your personal financial goals, right? So now the third thing that I'm going to cover today during this emergency broadcast is the ideal time to take profits, okay, versus life-changing profits, okay? And you need to decide which is more important to you, okay? Which one is more important to you, all right? When I say that the time to take profits, that means that in theory, this is a good time to take profits, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my screen here to a screen sharing, and I'm going to show you guys on the charts what I'm talking about so that you guys can get a visual understanding of what I am looking at. All right, so let me turn some of this stuff off here. So you guys let me know when you guys can see my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, let me know when you guys can see my screen. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure if my picture at the bottom or the photos at the bottom covering your screen. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I just need to confirm something. Okay, it seems like it's in the way. All right, I need to remove some of you guys here from the screen here so that's not in the way. I'll add you guys back during the question, okay? So don't think that I'm getting rid of you guys. I just need to get rid of the screen space so people can see the screen. Okay, so I'm right here. If you guys go to our website here at indexes.cryptocurrency.market, right? We have the cryptocurrency, the Typhoon 30 cryptocurrency market index, and it's right here. If you guys see here, this is we built this index. It's very similar to the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones. Okay, it lists the top 30 biggest cryptocurrencies by market cap, and it also lists the coins down here in the components right here. So you can see what the 30 coins are in the market. And many of you guys are going to ask, why isn't certain coins in the top 30 in there? And let me explain this to you guys here. Okay. You guys can come down to the cryptocurrency.market/methodology, and we explain it here how we created the Typhoon cryptocurrency market index and the Typhoon 30 altcoin market index and everything, the stimulus portfolio. So it's right here in our methodology. Okay. So that way I don't have to explain it right now. So the 30 coins here, right? So I'm going to click on this, and then you come over here and maximize this. All right. Now, I want you guys to see something here. The first thing I do is when I look at a chart is I want to change it to the weekly so I can see what the long term looks like. So when I come over here, the first thing I do is I grab a parallel channel and I draw it out. Okay. Now, many of you guys, right, can draw it the trend channel how you like, right? The traditional way to do it would be to draw it from the bottom down here to the bottom down here, like that. That's the traditional way that people would do it, like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, 2 points. Now, I don't do it that way. I do it where what I call the majority touch rules. I want to see where the majority of the action is at. So right here, there's only 2 points of data, right there and right there. So I want to get the most points of data. So I'm going to come over here to where it's more solid. To me, that's more of where the market is at. Okay, you guys can learn more about how I do this in the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on going over how to draw a trend channel, right? So we go here. So can you guys see that we're in a 45-degree angle going up? Long term, like from down here, from August 2020, in the middle of 2020 or so, we've been going up since then. Can you guys see that? Can you guys clearly see that we are on an uptrend? Does anyone not see that? All right, so people always ask, hey man, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market or whatever, right? You don't have to ask that, guys. You don't have to ask anybody that. Just look at the charts. Just look at the charts. The charts will tell you everything you need to know, right? So do I have to ask anybody what is the current trend? Now, would you guys agree that in this uptrend right now, would you guys agree that in the intermediate term, there was a downtrend in the intermediate term? Long term, it's up, but in the intermediate term, can you guys see that it's down? Does everyone see that? Okay, now I'm going to change this to a daily real quick, and then we're gonna clean up the charts a little bit more. So right there, I'm going to bring this down a little bit right there. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to go where the majority is, right? So I'm just going to go right there. Now, it doesn't matter if you guys do it here like this or if you guys put it at the top. That's not the most important thing in trading, guys. So don't get hung up on that. Don't worry too much whether or not you drew it here and then I drew it here and then you guys draw it up here, or you draw it up here, or you draw it up here. That's completely like that's like the last thing you should worry about. Okay, just as long as you get a general idea that the market's going up in a 45-degree, right? That's fine. So when I look at this, guys, this is considered the long-term trend. Real quick review on trend analysis here. This would be considered a short-term, intermediate term downtrend. Okay, right there. That would be considered a short-term intermediate downtrend. Something like that. Okay. And like I said, guys, you don't have to be perfect on this as long as you get the general picture of where the trend is going right there. I have it on the magnetic snap here, so it snaps to those points. Okay, so can everyone agree that the intermediate trend was a downtrend? Can everyone agree with that? Is there anyone that disagrees that the intermediate trend was a downtrend? No? Okay. Right. So if we all agree that this in the intermediate term there was a downtrend, but the overall long term we're still in a bull market. Okay. So that's why whenever you guys see me tweet out that we're still in the middle of a bull market, right? I have to see evidence that the market has changed. And if it breaks below this low right here, if it breaks below all this low down here, this whole area, then I would consider it in a bear market, because by that time it will have fallen, right? From here, from the top up here down to here is only a 54% drop. And it was not there for very long. So really it was like right here, about a 51% drop. So I would have to see that it crashed below this area down here, right? That's 60%, and crash below it and stay there for a few weeks, not just touch and go. All right. So for me to believe that we're in a bear market. So right now this is bouncing back up, right? So can you guys agree that the long-term trend is up, the intermediate term trend is down, and then right here, would you guys agree that the short-term, like extremely, extremely short-term trend, let me just turn off this magnet so it's quicker. Would you guys agree that in the very short term that we're up? So you guys see that? Long-term trend, long-term uptrend, intermediate term downtrend, and then short-term uptrend. Now this short-term uptrend can easily turn into an intermediate term uptrend and then turn into a long-term uptrend and go all the way up to here. All right. So now I want you guys, we're going to ignore the short-term trend because that doesn't mean anything. All right. So let me get rid of this and put in the fib channel. Okay. So if you are a student of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, you know that I like to use the fib channels here, right? Right there. Okay. Now, when we do this, guys, right, our goal is to get in. Hey, you guys notice this? Let me just remove this real quick. You guys notice that if I lower this down here, then see how it lines up with that, right? So I might just leave it right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. If you have it here, you have it here, you have it here, it really does not matter. What matters is that can you see that long term we are in an uptrend? That's what matters. All right. So right here, we got the short term downtrend, right? So when we have the short term downtrend that's been broken now, then we have to ask ourselves, this is something I want to share with you guys. All right. So I want you guys to look at this long-term downtrend, this long-term trend, and this intermediate-term trend. Notice that the distance from one side of the channel to the other side of the channel is huge. You guys see that? Let me, if you guys measure, use a ruler, and we go from the top right here, see these vertical grid lines? Let's say we start from up here, from one side of the channel and go down to the other side. Notice that it's a 70% drop. Okay, it's a 70% drop. Now notice that when I take the ruler and measure the vertical distance, like from here down to here, notice that it's about a 22% drop. You guys see that? So now you guys got to understand this. When I talk about the ideal time to take profits versus life-changing profits, you guys have to make a decision, and this will be the toughest decision that you guys have to learn and practice making in trading and investing. This is the toughest thing to do in trading. Okay, it's not selecting the right coin to invest in. It's not selecting the correct bet size to trade in. This is where this is what I'm about to talk about here is what separates the amateur traders and the beginning traders from the veteran traders or the pro traders or the experienced traders or the traders who make fucking a shitload of fucking money. Okay, guys? I want to just time out. I want to pause for a moment, guys. Many of you guys are struggling right now with your trading, and sometimes you feel like quitting. Many of you guys are struggling, and you feel like, man, I don't know if I can ever learn trading or do this right. I've lost so much money, or I've spent so much time. I still haven't figured it out. You know, I keep hearing Ty and all these other people talking about making life-changing profits. I haven't made this life-changing profits. You know, let me tell you guys something. I struggled and almost quit trading several times. There was like at least 2 or 3 times in my life where I was going to quit and just give up trading. And I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad that I continued to learn and educate myself and get the right training. And when I finally figured out how to make trading work for me and be able to make a profit consistently, I can tell you guys this, guys. When you get it, when you understand trading and you're able to do it in the real world, not just understand it in your head, but be able to do it in the real world, the amount of money that you make, guys, is ungodly. It's the amount of money that you make. No one's going to believe it. When you tell them, they're not going to believe it. That's all I can say. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how much I make or how much our team makes or whatever, but I can tell you that the money that we make, when we tell people, they are not going to believe it. No one's going to believe it. All right. So those are just a quick words of encouragement there, guys, so that you guys don't quit and don't give up. Remember, guys, you've made all the mistakes already, right? There's only a few mistakes left that you guys can make before you guys break through to the other side and be able to do this successfully. All right. So I hope that what I share with you guys here allows you guys to make that leap. Okay. So this is the tough decision that you have to make in trading, guys, because you hear a lot of people say, and I used to say this too. So I'm not innocent and I'm not special or anything. I used to say the same thing too. This stuff sounds so easy. Why is it so hard? Like, what's the catch? What is the catch here? Okay, so when you guys, the catch is this, guys. When the money goes up to here, are you capable of taking profits? Okay, so I'm going to pull up a few portfolios and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, because this is the Taifu Cryptocurrency Market Index. It started out back here in 2017, right, as 100 points. So if you put $100 in there back then when we started this index, it would be worth up here. It went as high as $2,092. All right, and that would be at $1,291 if you put $100 back then. So that means that the Taifu 30 Cryptocurrency Market Index has gone up since inception, since it was 100 points. It went up to 1,300 points here. So that means that it went up 13x in the period of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5 years. It went up 13x, guys. That's not too bad. That's not too bad, guys. All right. That's why we encourage our students to put a bulk of their money and follow the Taifu 30 Cryptocurrency Market Index strategy. because that's a nice chunk of life-changing profits there. All right. So let's go to some sample portfolios here. So if you guys see up here in the user here, this is all our these are the portfolios that me and LeonFu.com created on our team, right? And these are all the users' portfolios. So you got users like Squid Game, Machine Gun, Not Kung Fu, all this. Okay, so we got a bunch of users here. What I like to do is when I come here, if you guys want to create your own portfolio, go to cryptocurrency right here. Go to cryptocurrency.market/start right here. And start. And then that will show you how to use the Typhoon Portfolio Manager and everything, and show you how to create a portfolio in there. And it even shows you how to create an index portfolio too. And in that right there, it will explain to you guys how I created this U.S. coronavirus stimulus portfolio, where we started out with $2,400 and now it's at $20,000. So you guys can see that we put our money where our mouth is at. So you guys can see it right there. We put the stimulus money right here, and now it's up to that much, and we're as high as 32,000. And we haven't rebalanced the portfolio once because we don't want to deal with the taxes, right? So that's real money right there, so that you guys can monitor it. All right. So as I go down this, I like to sort this out, guys. I like to sort it out from biggest to smallest, and I will go down this portfolio and look at some examples here, like these large portfolios. For some reason, I do not believe these are real portfolios, because this portfolio right here is just imitating the Typhoon tone-based scam coin portfolio here. So that I'm not going to go with that. Let's just go with something like this one. Matter of fact, since I mentioned to you guys that the first one, okay, let me just sort from the smallest. Okay, remember I told you there's 3 situations that you guys can be in. The first situation is you just don't have enough money to retire. So you see these portfolios with $1,000 in it, these portfolios with $2,000 in it, these portfolios with $10,000. So all these portfolios here that have less than, I would say, like $50,000 in it, you really cannot retire from that. Okay, so look, here's somebody's got a Mercedes portfolio here. Let's look at this, right? So you look at this, and let's put on weekly. So this portfolio was started last March, so it's like a year old. And this portfolio went up as high as $80,000. Now, I don't know of any country, whether you're in Vietnam, in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, in Cambodia, or in America, where you can comfortably be able to retire off of $70,000 or $80,000. So that's why I say that if you're in the first situation where you do not have enough money to retire, then taking profits is not something that you consider, or it's not even something that you should worry about, because you should worry about how can I maximize this and rebalance my portfolio in a way to grow it the most. Okay, so focus on growth. Don't focus on taking profits yet, because there's just not enough money in there to do anything, right? So if I have this, I wouldn't do anything with it. I would focus on growing that portfolio. I would not be focused on taking profits, right? So what coins do they have in here? Okay, so in my opinion, there's too many coins in that portfolio. Okay, so just my opinion, right? And we'll make a separate live stream later on and talk about why. But in the meantime, I just want to focus on the profit taking. So let's go into the second scenario where you have enough money to retire, and I'm going to start with the Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and places like that. So let's just pull one up here. Let's see where. Okay, I don't know who this Ben Zen is. I don't know if he's our student or not. When you guys create a portfolio in here, we cannot see your who it is. Okay, just so you guys know. Let me see. So let's just put this on a weekly so we can see it. Oh, by the way, you guys can click on this right here and maximize this so you guys can see it and go down the list and see it. Right. So this portfolio started in 2018. The middle of 2018. So they went through here, and now it went up, right? So what I would look at here is this, guys. I'm going to pretend that I'm going to pretend that I'm living in Vietnam and I want to retire early from my day job and quit my day job. In Vietnam, okay, let me pull up a calculator here so you guys understand what I'm talking about. So in Vietnam, I need about $1,000 a month to live comfortably in the city. Now, if I live in the countryside, outside the city, like outside of Saigon or outside of Hanoi or outside of Bangkok or outside of Phnom Penh, Cambodia, then it's a lot less than $1,000 a month. But I'm going to go with $1,000 a month just so you guys can see it, okay, to live in the city. So if I have $1,000 a month, I multiply it by 12 and I have 12,000. And I need 5 years of runway so that I can survive, wait until I have enough money to survive and pay for my living expenses until the next bull market comes, right? Whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, right? So times 5, that's $60,000, right? So now I take the $60,000 and I put it in here and I ask myself, okay, how can I get this, right? One way to do it, one way to take profits is to take out the 60,000 right now, right? Right now, I could have taken it out up here. I could have taken it down here. Let's say that I took it out up here at the peak, absolute peak. Let's just see what the math looks like. If I had $450,000, right? $450,000, right? I take out $60,000 for 5 years, and I have 390,000 left. Now, if the market goes up one more X from here, like Ty and Leon predicted, right, the minimum in this bull market, then I would take this and multiply it by 2, and I would end up with $780,000 plus the $60,000 that I took out. So $60,000 plus the $780,000, and I would have a total net worth of $840,000. So I'm just using the word net worth just so that it's for simple explanation, guys. You can call it whatever you want. You can say that you have a total $840,000 to your name, right? Now, I want you to remember that number, 840,000, or let's say that I don't take out this $60,000. I only keep this $450,000 in there, and it goes up, 1x, then I have $900,000. So you guys got to ask yourself, the difference between taking out the 60,000 and not taking out the 60,000, the difference between these is what, right? Is that worth it to you? Okay, is that worth it for you to be 60,000? The difference here, and my answer to you guys is this: if I needed $60,000 to quit my day job early, this would not matter to me, guys. I would have taken out the 60,000 right here. Matter of fact, I would have taken out 10 years worth of living expenses right there. So I would have 10 years of runway. So it would look something like this: I would take out 450,000 minus the $120,000 for 10 years of runway, and I have $330,000 left. And if it goes up 1x, then I would have a total of 660,000 plus the 120,000 that I already took out, which means I will have a total of 780,000 net worth, or that's how much cash and crypto I would have, right? Now, let's say I did not take out that 120,000, that 120,000 right there. Let's say I did not take it out. Well, then we know that the 450,000, if it goes up 1x, I'll have 900,000. So ask yourself, guys, is the difference between 900,000 and 780, let's do the math, 900,000 minus 780 right there, the difference of $120,000. Is that going to matter, guys? Okay, is that going to matter? Now, here's what will matter, all right? Here's what will matter. And these are just rough numbers, guys. I want you guys to understand this, okay? Let's say that I regret taking profits right here, right? I got greedy, I FOMO'd in, and I regret it, right? And then I come down here, now I'm at 200, let's just round it off to 275,000, right? Let's say that I have 275,000 and I take out the 120,000, okay? So I only have 155,000 left in the markets. Now, if the market goes up another 1x, then we take that times 2. So I have 310,000 in my crypto portfolio plus the 120,000 in my cash portfolio in my runway, and so I have a total of $430,000 in cash and crypto. Now, if I take out this 100, that's what's going to happen. All right. So if I deduct that from the 275 that goes up 2x, let's do the math. 275,000. If I don't take out the 120,000 and retire early, I have 275,000 times. It goes up 1x, so that's 550,000 in my crypto portfolio. So if you take that, deduct the 430,000, then there's a difference of 120,000. Okay, can you guys see that? There's a difference of 120,000, and you guys need to ask, is that worth it? Okay. Is it worth it to take that out? Okay. Wait a minute. Let me see the math here. Something's not right. I'm not good at math, and I'm doing it with a calculator, and I'm talking at the same time. Let me just double check something here. 275. Where's the 275 minus 120 here? 155 goes up to 310. 310 plus 120 we took out, 430. Okay. So it's 275 times 2, 550. The difference, okay. So the difference between it is the 120,000 you took out. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this worth it for me to take out the money now or wait until it goes up and take profits? Only you can decide that, guys. No one else can decide that for you. No one else can decide that. Only you know the answer to that. Okay? Only you know the answer to that. No one else would know the answer. All right? So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to me? Because what happens if I don't do it? If I don't do it, what happens if this crashes down? So let's just take a look, guys. If 275,000, the Typhoon 90-90 rule says that the markets, when they crash, expect it to crash 90%. So if you have 450,000 right now at the top, right? And if it crashes to 90%, that means that you only have 10% left. That means that it's going to come down to 45,000. So if we do this, if we crash from the top up here down to, if we crash from the top up here down to 45,000, which is somewhere around here, right there, would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with this crashing all the way down to here and have only $45,000 left? You have to ask yourself that. Ty said that, hey, expect the bear markets, during the bear markets, it's going to crash 90%. So if your portfolio crashes 90%, are you okay with that? Now, for me personally, if I needed $120,000 to retire early for the next 10 years while I wait for the bull market to go up, wait to survive the bear market and wait for the next bull market, then for me personally, I would say that retiring early for 10 years and not going to work a day job for 10 years is more important to me than to wait for this to go up. Okay, because we are at a critical point right now to where even though we know that this is a everything shows that we are in a long-term uptrend. At any time, this can easily turn down, guys. This can turn down right here. All right, this can turn down very easily. There's no law that says this cannot turn around and crash down. But then there's no law that says this cannot keep going up and go up another 1x, 3x, 5x, 10x either. But so you have to this is the toughest part about trading, is that you have to make that decision. What is more important to me? Is making a ton of profits more important to me, or being able to quit my day job, not being stuck in traffic for 2 hours a day, an hour going to work, an hour coming back from work, smelling all the pollution in the air, being away from my wife and kids, being away from my dog, right? And or is it more important for you to give up that big money but have a better quality of life? Only you can answer that. No one can answer that. Once you know what it is that you want, then all you have to do is just do the math to see if it makes sense for you to do it or not. If you don't know what you want to do, right, then it's extremely difficult. Now, let's look at my scenario in 2017 where you guys know that I needed $50,000 a year to live, right? And I needed 5 years. Well, if we do the math, right? If we do the math, that $50,000 a year times 5 years is $250,000. So there's no way I would be able to retire in Dallas, Texas, with this portfolio. So what would I do? I would continue working my day job, saving the money, and continue investing in the markets. I would not even consider taking profits and retiring. That's why the money that I made, even though I got into crypto in 2013 and we made money in 2013 and 2014 and so on, we just kept the money there. Our whole team just kept the money there in the portfolio, and we did not actually take profits to retire until early 2017. All right. So this is a scenario where for someone in outside the US, if there's a opportunity to retire early with 5 to 10 years of runway, or in the US or in the Western countries, this would not be enough money to retire just yet. So you would just have to keep working your day job and then wait till the next bull market or wait until this goes up. All right. I'm going to pause right there to see if any of our students have any questions. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And let me check over here. I'm going to add some of you guys back onto the live stream. Okay. Anyone have any questions about what I just said about the taking profits? Nogfresh says, I've been using the market going up 1x, but what if it goes up 3x or more? Well, if it goes up, I just use the minimum Nogfresh. If it goes up more than 1x, well, then no one ever gets mentally stressed out when the market is going up and they're making money. Okay, the mental stress and the tough decisions have to be made when the markets are going down, especially when you're a beginning trader. As you become more experienced as a trader, then what you'll try to do is you will start making decisions here as the market's going up. You won't be making decisions when it's down here. Like making decisions down here is not a good decision to make. You want to make decisions on these green candles, not on red candles. Right? Okay. So Bitcoin Jedi, he says, in my opinion, Bitcoin isn't going to 4,500. Now, we don't know that, Bitcoin Jedi. We don't know that. Nobody knows that. There's two questions that nobody knows the answer to in trading, whether it's in stocks, Forex, options, crypto, gold, real estate. Nobody knows, okay? Nobody knows these two questions. And these two questions are how much and when. How much is it going to fall to? How much is it going to go up to? How much is it going to crash, Ty? How much is it going to go to the moon? Nobody knows how much. That question is basically how much profits am I going to make, right? Nobody knows that. There's nobody. It doesn't matter what they say. Nobody knows. Nobody fucking knows how much you are going to make when you trade, all right? And nobody knows when either. People say, oh, by the end of this year, this is going to happen or this is going to happen. Like, for example, when we say that we believe that Bitcoin is going to $1 million by 2030, that's just an estimate. We don't know that. And we tell people, hey, we estimate and we predict that it's going to go there, but we don't know. How the fuck would we know how much Bitcoin is going to be? How the hell would we know? Okay. So if anybody tells you they know, they're full of shit. Okay. When we say that, hey, we estimate that we project, based on all the fundamental analysis, based on our research analysis and technical analysis and fundamental analysis, we see there's a huge probability that Bitcoin is going to hit between 100 to 200,000 in this bull market, and then in the long term, in the next 10 years till 2030, it's going to hit $1 million. That's just a projection. We don't know. How the hell would we know? It's 2022 right now. How the hell would we know what the price of anything is going to be in 2030? Right? So nobody knows how much and nobody knows when. That's the risk that you take in trading, because you don't know those two components. If you guys go buy some Vietnamese bonds, they pay like 7%, and they pay at the end of the year. So if you say, how much is the bonds going to pay, Ty? The Vietnamese bonds going to pay, and I say 7%. If you know the answer to that, and you ask me, well, when is that 7% going to come in? And I say at the end of the year, well, if I can answer how much and when, that means that there's no life-changing profits available. There's no life-changing profits available when you have those two questions answered: how much and when. All right? Nobody knows. Now, Bitcoin Jedi says, this reminds me of the people that said Bitcoin was going to 1,000 in 2018. Remember the hyperwave crap from Tone Vays and gang? I knew 3,000 was the bottom. Now 30,000 is the bottom. Okay, so a few things. Tone Vays is my friend, so I don't know how he trades. When I meet Tone Vays in person, we go out and we have fun. We eat, we drink. He knows how to trade, right? According to his methods. I know how to trade according to my methods. He used to work on Wall Street. I used to work on Wall Street. We have different methods. And it's like he speaks English, I speak English. So when I meet Tone Vays, right, in person, when we go hang out, I don't ask him, hey, man, how did you learn your English, or how's your English coming along? And when he sees me, he don't ask me, hey, how's your English coming along, or something like that. So like when I meet Tone Vays, he keeps track of Bitcoin a lot more than I do. So I usually ask him for the latest updates, right? Because he's right on the edge. He's always looking at the Bitcoin fundamentals every day. So I think like last time when he and I went to go eat and drink together in Bangkok, right? He and I were talking about the Lightning Network and how it's progressing and things like that. And I was telling him about the struggles of me trying to set up the biggest Lightning node, right? I was struggling with it, so I just gave up on it. So he was telling me the developments on that. But it's rare that he and I ever talk about trading, okay? Because it's like he and I don't talk about English. It was something we already know, okay? So now, when you say that I knew 3,000 was the bottom, Bitcoin Jedi, I just want you to know you don't know. Nobody knows. And you're saying now 30,000 is the bottom. Nobody knows that, okay? Nobody knows how much and nobody knows when, okay? That's just the reality about trading. And it's important that you guys understand that, so you get it out of your head that anybody would know. So you always talk in terms of probability in trading. Hey, there's a high probability that 30,000 is the floor or the support area, or there's a high probability that it's only going to go to 3,000, or there's a high probability that it's going to go to 100,000. But the reality is nobody knows. All right. Okay, so Sean Greathead says, did you take profits in the bull run to invest in the bear market to buy more? It depends. It depends. Like right now, I hold a lot of Bitcoins and Ethers, and if we go right into a bear market, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to leave it the way it is, because those are the coins that I am comfortable holding through a bear market. So that was the reason why I shrunk my portfolio down at the beginning. In the bear market, I probably had about 30, 40 coins. And then as we started going into, in about 2018, I had about, I think like 40 something coins. By 2019, I was down to 30 something coins. By 2020, I reduced it down to 20. And by the end of 2020, I was reducing it down to like, I think like 6, 7, 8 coins. And then now I only have like 4 coins. So those 4 coins are Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, and Polkadot. And those 4 coins, they have, in my opinion, the best development teams, the most money, and they've been around, and they have a good reputation, and people know they're not scams, and they are solving real problems in the cryptocurrency space. So that's why I'm okay with putting my money on those projects and those coins and holding it through the bear market. Okay, so so Bitcoin Jedi says you're in your new office room. Yes, I finally moved into my new office, and I can do live streams. Before I was at the small condo, and my kids were screaming. Yeah, I can't even hear nothing. So I got this office now. It's got the glass doors. I close it, lock it, So I got marble all around me. So I used to work in a stone factory to sell marble and granite and onyx and stuff like that. And I always dreamed of, we used to go to all these rich people's homes in Dallas and install the marble and the stone and the granite and the onyx and everything for their houses. And I always dreamed that someday when I make enough money, I like to have some marble and granite in my house. So here I is today, right? So
Hitai,
um,
I have
yeah,
one question. Can I ask now?
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So, what I have observed myself as well as the people I know, that once the market starts correcting a lot, we see there are two basic emotions. One is of panic, and
Yeah.
second is of freezing body. So either people are not able to take any action, or they just paper hand their portfolio. They just sell it, panic sell it. My question is that, is it possible to have a mental stop loss in mind for our portfolio when the things are moving up, and based on our personal financial goals plus the amount that we want to be in the market, and once the market corrects and hits our mental stop loss, we are able to uh, sell it? Is this a good strategy, or where am I wrong? Or
Okay. So first of all, there's no such thing as a right or wrong question in trading because trading is a game of probability. So there's no certainty. So we're in a field where everything is uncertain, right? It's just like the was it Niels Bohr when he was talking about the electrons and everything in the universe. There's it's uncertain where it's at. We can only guess where the electrons and the protons and everything are at, but we're not really certain where it's at. Trading is the same way. It's a game of uncertainty. You never know where the market's going. You don't know anything. The only thing that you can know is yourself.
Mhm.
Yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to know, okay, these are what the things that I need, right? Like I use myself as an example all the time. I know that if I have 5 years of runway, I'm going to make enough money during those 5 years where I can extend my runway. So as soon as I get an opportunity in the markets to give myself 5 years of runway so that I can quit my day job, I did it right away, right? So I just want you to say the mindset to become a successful trader, guys, is not something that's easy to understand. So whenever you guys hear me explain these concepts, or if you guys hear me say, hey, don't say this inside your head, say this instead, right? So instead of saying, hey, is this question right or wrong, or is this right or wrong in trading? There is no right or wrong in trading, okay? And even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm wrong 66% of the time. Out of every 100 trades I make, 66% of them are going to lose money. I know that. I've done thousands of trades already. I don't think that statistic is going to change anytime soon. Okay, I have a big enough sample size to know that I used to average about over 3,000 trades a year when I was trading forex. Okay, so in my lifetime, I've probably made close to 10,000 live trades with real money before. So I know that my statistics are the sample size is so big that the data is very accurate. Okay. So I know that 66% of my trades are going to lose money. Out of the 34% that do make money, 29% of them they're just barely above break even. They're not like anything that you guys would consider life changing. It's just enough to say that it's a profitable trade and it's not a losing trade. So the last 5% of my winning trades, those are the ones that are they're huge winners. They win so big that they allow me to retire early. You guys got to be aware of that. Hey, Max, can you turn the lights on for me? Turn all the lights on. My office too. All right. So because of that, you guys realize that I'm living in a $1 million high-rise condo in downtown Bangkok on the riverfront, and I'm a millionaire, and I I've made thousands of trades in my life, and I would say that less than 5 trades made 98% of all my profits. 5 trades. But these profitable trades were such huge, big winners that it just eliminated thousands of losing trades and made so much money, right, that I was able to retire. Okay, so that's how trading is done. There's going to be a large percentage where you're going to be wrong. So when you guys, I'm saying this, I'm putting stress on this about how often I am wrong, because I want you to understand that there's no such thing as right or wrong in trading. So when you ask me the question is, hey, is this right or is this wrong? Is this the right question? Or is this the right method? Is this the right? The question that you should think in your head, instead of saying, is this right or wrong? The question you should ask is this the most efficient way to achieve my goals in trading? Right? So earlier you asked about the house, right? Hey, the question you would want to ask in your head is this an efficient way for me? Is this an efficient way to trade to get my house? Is this an efficient way? Is there a better way? Okay. So if you're beginning, right, that's what you want to focus on. You don't want to ask if it's right or wrong, because trading is not about right or wrong. Because if you focus on that, your ego is going to get in the way, and all you focus on is, ooh, I'm going to make this trade. I'm going to show the market that I'm right. I'm going to show Ty that I'm right. Fuck what Ty's saying. I'm going to prove to him that I'm right. You don't want to get into that, because I did that for many years. I lost so much money when I did not have money to lose. I lost so much money. Okay, guys, when I first started trading, when I lost $1,000 in my trading account, that hurt me, man. That hurt me so much. It hurt me 100 times more than me losing $1 million today. Okay, I don't know how many times I've lost $1 million on a trade. Okay, but that doesn't hurt me as much as that $1,000 I lost in my early years when I had no money. Okay, guys. So I want you to realize that focus on how can I make this efficient. So on our team, we look to become more efficient traders. All right. So you get what I'm saying there, Ashwani?
Yes, Ty, I got your point. Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you repeat the question again about the what you said?
Yeah. So as you said that we need to think about our personal financial goals as well as the money that we portfolio that we want to keep in the markets.
Yeah.
My question was that when markets are going down, we see that there are two main emotions. One is of panic, and one is uh, just freezing of your mind when you are not
Okay.
able to take any action. So I was
Yes.
thinking that is it possible to have a mental, because we are not dealing in derivatives, we are dealing in spot actual tokens. We do not have a option to create set up a stop loss. I'm thinking that is it possible to have a mental stop loss of the entire portfolio in mind, and whenever the market is correcting and it hits our stop loss, we should be able to exit that.
Okay. So the question that you're asking is, should we have some type of stop loss, whether it's a mental stop loss or a technical stop loss or some type of stop loss to prevent us where we personally say, I'm not going to lose more than this. So for example, like in this portfolio here that I'm looking at, Benzen right here, let's just say that you're saying, hey, what if we just put a mental stop and say that we're not going to lose more than 150,000. So if anything falls below that, then we're going to sell. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. And that 150,000 is considering our personal financial goals plus the money that we want to keep in the markets.
Okay, so basically the 150,000 is our personal financial goals, whether it's to buy a house, buy a car, pay for a wedding, or and the money that we want to keep in the market and continue keeping that money in the market. The reason why I would say that that's not a good idea, okay,
Hmm.
that's not an efficient way to do it. Okay, that's not an efficient way to do it, because if you say that, hey, I'm going to put a mental stop loss here at $150,000, and if the market crashes down to that, I would feel a lot better. See, you're doing that because of your emotions. Would you say that it's because of your emotions? You want to feel good that, hey, I didn't lose everything, so I'm just going to stop at $150,000. Wouldn't you say that's the reason why you're doing it?
Yes, for example, in May last year, if we had put a stop loss to our portfolio, we would not have suffered for a lot of months. So this is why.
Okay, so you're saying that if, let's say that you come up here and you take profits at 350,000, and then you just wait until it crashes, and then you buy back in down here, right?
Like this is obviously not possible seeing in future. We can say that now, but when it was crashing in May, at least we could
Yeah.
have had our portfolio stop loss that was after this point.
Okay.
I'm
So
losing my freedom. I'm losing my freedom after this point. So I will
okay.
hold on to this portfolio.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this. Okay, let's say this was your portfolio. Let's pretend that this is your portfolio. Where would you put the stop loss? At 300,000, 250,000, at 200,000? Where would you put it at?
So yeah, so I'm just talking hypothetically. If I put a stop loss of 300,000 and I assume that that amount of money is enough for me to leave my day
Okay.
job.
Okay. So let's just say that you put a stop loss here. It goes up to 400,000. It comes back down to 300,000. You say, you know what? I need 300,000 to retire, buy my house, my car, and retire and take care of my family. So I'm not going to let it go below 300,000. Correct?
Yes, yes.
And then when it hits 300,000, you're just going to sell everything. You're going to sell 100% of your portfolio. Correct?
A major chunk of it, at least for able to retire,
Okay.
to quit the
So how
day
much?
job.
200,000, 100,000. You got to give me numbers. Remember, when we're talking about trading, it's all about numbers. It's a numbers game. So if it's not numbers involved, then it doesn't really mean anything. You guys are not going to learn anything unless you ask questions that require a number answer. Okay. When
So
you
say
guys
one
ask,
one
you
fifty
guys
thousand dollars.
huh? How much?
So say $150,000. Half of the portfolio is out.
Okay, half the portfolio, 150,000. Okay. All right. Then if you say that, right? Then why didn't you do it up here? Why didn't you do it when it was up here on this green candle? Why did you wait for this long red candle to sell and take out 150,000? If you feel that, hey man, that 150,000 is going to set me up for life, or I'm going to be able to retire, get my house, my cars, and everything, or be able to retire for 10 years, then my question to you is, why didn't you take it out right here on this green candle? The market's going up. You got tons of buyers. When you sell that 150,000, you click a mouse 2 or 3 times, and boom, you're done selling that 150,000. Why would you sell it over here on this long red candle when everybody's panic selling and everybody's rushing to sell, and you want to fight with them to sell? When you sell, you need buyers. You think there's more buyers here, or do you think there's more sellers here? Or the selling pressure is higher, right? That's why it went down that far. So the same thing goes right here. The same thing goes right here is that if you're here and you say, hey, you know what? If it comes down to 200,000, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna have a mental stop loss and sell and take out 150,000 because I feel safe, I feel secure, and I feel like I didn't waste all my time and money for all these years waiting for the market to go up. Well, if that's the case, that's the number that you need to know. When I talk about your personal financial goals, that is exactly what I'm talking about. You need to know that number. In this example that you and I are discussing, you said that it's 150,000, and it's just a made-up number. I know that, but you need to know the real number for your portfolio. When you guys are listening to this, it's not just Ashwani, but anyone that's listening to this right now, you need to know that real number, and you need to ask yourself, okay, if I need 150,000, why didn't I take it out up here on the green candles? Any of these green candles would have been the perfect time to take it. And then if it crashes more, you're set to go. Once you have that $150,000 in your pocket, in your bank account, the 70, 80, 90% of the stress, the mental stress that you get from trading goes away because you have runway now. That's the key to trading, guys. You want to take the risk in the beginning to get a big chunk of runway. Once I got my 5 years of runway, I didn't care. Now it's stress. When I had, let's say, level 100 stress. As soon as I got 5 years of runway into my pocket and I know it's safe, that 100 level stress got reduced down to about 50. And then when I added another 10 years, 5 years of runway, now I have 10 years of runway, that 50 went down to about 20. And then when I added another 10 years and now I have 20 years of runway, that stress even got even less. So a lot of times when you guys see me and leonfu.com and the other guys on my team, and we are not stressed out over what the market is doing, it's because when we were up here, we took out a little bit to give ourselves more runway. Now, we have been doing it several bull markets already, so we have the advantage that we have more opportunities to take out the money for the runway. Some of you guys, this might be your first bull market. Some of you guys, this might be your second bull market, but you didn't take profits in 2017. So this is actually the first bull market that you guys actually had to take profits from, right? So in the beginning, it's tough when you don't have a long runway. If you guys focus on getting a long runway so that you have enough money to pay for your living expenses for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I swear to God, 90% of the stress in trading goes away. 90%, 80, 90%, the majority of the stress in trading goes away because now you're not worried. Like, hey, if I make the trade, I make it. If I don't, I know that 66% of my trades are going to lose money. So why bother stressing? I got enough money to live for the next 20 years. Why worry? I'm going to make that money back. If I keep doing what I do consistently, that 5% of my trades that are life-changing, it will show up again. And every time they show up, they're going to give me another 15, 20 years of runway. Does that make sense to you, Ashwani?
Yes, I understand that
Okay.
that number should always be in the mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that number. And in the beginning, guys, you don't have to know every number. Like you don't have to know, like, okay, I need this amount for my to quit my day job. I need this amount for the house. I need this amount for the car. I need this amount for my son's wedding. I need this amount for my daughter's graduation. You don't need to do all that. Just pick the top 2 or 3 items that you know will make the biggest change in your life. When you guys hear us talk about making life-changing profits, we're talking about making the profits that actually change and improve our quality of life. We're not talking about just making money just to be making money, right? So, all right, let me go to the next question here. So Harvey asked, do you think taking profits on a bear market rally is a good idea right now? I don't know. See, there you go again. You're asking me a question. I don't know what your goal is. I don't know what your goal is, guys, right? The question should be something like this. Hey, Ty, my goal is to take $200,000 out. So if I have $2,000, I can retire for the next 10 years. I can take an early retirement and quit my day job and retire for the next 10 years, right? And my portfolio is currently 275,000 right now, right? What is the most efficient way for me to take profits so that I can still have enough money in the market to work for me if the market goes up, and then I can take out the 200,000 so that I can retire early. Now, sometimes the answer is just not what you want to hear. For example, if you had 275,000 in your portfolio right now, Harvey, instead of taking a 10-year early retirement, are you okay with 5 years and just go with 100,000? If you're okay with that, then I would take out the 100,000 right there and lock in 5 years of retirement, and I can quit my day job for the next 5 years, and then just do the math. If I take out 100,000 out of this 275, I have 175 left over. If it goes up 1x, then I have 175, double that, right? So that's 350 plus the 100,000 I took out, so I have 450,000. But if it crashes 90%, am I going to be hurt? No, because I already took out $100,000. I can wait 5 years. Now, here's the thing, guys. Some of you guys have a good job, right? Most of the people that follow us, they have a good paying job. Most of the people that follow our channel, right, have a college degree, have a good paying job, and things like that. So if you have a good paying job, some of you guys have been working there for so long, it's so easy for you to make money. As long as you show up for work, you make money. So even if you took out 5 years or 10 years worth of living expenses, I have students that still continue to work simply because it's easy money for them. Okay, but they have the option. They can quit for 10 years if they want, but they still choose to work because it's just easy. As long as they show up for work, they get paid. And they're willing to continue working until the next bull market, even though they have taken out 5 or 10 years worth of money to retire 5 to 10 years early already. All right, so I don't know what your situation is like, Harvey. That's why I cannot answer that. Right? Okay, Harvey asked a good question. How do you stop yourself and recover from feeling bad and depressed about not taking profits when you should have? Okay, the first thing you need to do is calculate your personal financial goals and the money that you need. And guys, be realistic about it. Like when I calculated my personal financial goals, I said I needed $250,000 to retire early. What's my second goal? Get another $250,000 so I have 10 years of runway. My initial goals were not to get a Lambo, get a Ferrari, get 10 wives, right? 10 girlfriends, get a yacht, get a sailboat, any of that. That was none of my goals. My goal is just, hey, man, I don't want to sit in traffic for an hour in the morning and sit in traffic for an hour in the evening just to go to work and sit at the office and be around a bunch of people I don't like. Okay? So I just want to go and quit my day job and be able to trade on my own. And if I have 5 years of runway, I know that I can make money before that money runs out. Okay? So that's what I would focus on. And then you got to ask yourself, right? If you're feeling bad and depressed about not taking profits, do you know how to take profits? Right? Have you been taught how to take profits? Where are you learning to take profits from? Do you have someone, a coach, a mentor, a trader, or someone that is showing you how to best take profits efficiently for your goals and your situation? If not, then there's nothing really to feel bad about. That's no different than if I go in there, I've had 3 heart attacks already. And the last time I was awake, I didn't take the anesthesia when they went into my groin and up into my heart to put 2 more stents in my heart, right? It hurt like a son of a gun. Don't try doing a stent procedure in the hospital and not take painkillers, guys. It was painful. Every time they inflate the balloon, I felt like my heart was about to explode. Like but I stayed awake because I was so sick and tired of having heart attacks that I wanted to see on the computer screen what my heart looked like when they were putting the stents in. So I told the doctor, don't give me no anesthesia. Just fucking do what you got to do. I'm going to watch the whole process and be awake while you do it. And I can tell you, it was painful. Okay. But at least I got to see what my heart looked like when they were putting it in. Okay. So what I'm saying is that if I try to do the stent procedure or fix someone's heart, if I don't know how to do it and I fail at it, there's no point in feeling bad or depressed. I mean, I haven't been taught how to do it correctly. So just go learn how to do it correctly. If you can learn it from us, you can go get you a copy of the cryptocurrency investing blueprint at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, or go learn from somebody else. Okay, trading is not something that you're gonna figure out on your own, guys. I've never met a trader in my life that figured out how to become a consistently profitable trader on their own. Okay, right? So ask yourself, can you do a heart transplant on your own? Figure out how to do that. The answer is no. So why would you step into an arena where people are making a shitload of money and you think that you're just going to jump in there and be able to compete against them and make money and without any kind of training? You're out of your fucking mind if you think that that's going to happen. That's just the reality, guys, right? If you've never been trained how to trade and you trade against guys like me or the guys on my team, you're fucking crazy if you think that you can out-trade us. You're not going to, okay? We invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to learn how to trade. You're not going to read a fucking $15 book and think that you're going to out-trade us. That's not going to fucking happen. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Anybody thinks that they can do that, trade on their own and figure out how to do trading, I like to meet them because I've never met one, right? So I didn't learn this alone. The guys that taught me how to trade, they were grizzled veteran traders that learned trading even before, they knew how to trade before computers were even invented. And those are the guys that taught me. And once they figured out how to do online trading, that's who I learned from, okay? Okay, Supreme asking, you set up an alert to know when the index reaches the top of the channel, take profits. We don't have the alert set up. We'll probably do that in the future, but at the moment we don't because I look at it every day, so I don't need alerts, right? So Bitcoin Jedi, I don't trade. I buy the bottoms and sell some for a profit a year or two out, the next top, and then wait for the new bottoms. Rinse and repeat, that's fine. That's how we do it too. We just do it in a more methodical manner so we're able to do it consistently and become efficient at it, right? Hey, I don't understand. Harvey is saying that bro, be direct. Right now, you're going all over the place. It's now a good time to take profits. I just fucking told you for an hour and a half right now. I don't know when you should take profits. I don't know what your fucking personal financial goals are. So why would you say that? I'm going all over the place. I don't know what your fucking goals are. I don't know what's in your portfolio. So how would I know if you should take profits or not? How the fuck would I know? I don't know where you're trying to go, and you're asking me, hey, Ty, where should I go? Should I take a train or a plane or a bicycle? I'm like, where the fuck are you going? I don't know. Well, how the fuck do I know where you're going to go then? That's like the fucking dumbest shit that you're asking me. Like, I'm trying to hold back on you. Like, I'm not trying to answer your question. I don't know what your fucking goals are, and I don't know what kind of money you have in your portfolio. So how would I know? Right? Right now, there are people, like, I'll give you an example. I'm glad you asked the damn question because it leads me to this question. Let's go back over here to the portfolio over here. Let's look at a big portfolio. Okay? Let's just say that this Dave Pham right here, right? Let's look at his portfolio. Right? So let's pretend, Harvey, that this is your portfolio. Right? Now, whether you're in America or in the West, I don't care what country you're in. If you got $4 million in your portfolio, you can retire in any country. Okay? So let's pretend this is your portfolio, Harvey, right? And you ask me, hey, Ty, should I take profits right now? Now I know how much is in your portfolio. And because I have an idea how much money you need to retire in the Western countries and the non-Western countries, right? You have enough money here that, right, I don't need for it to wait to go up. Check this out. I don't need to wait for this to go up. I don't care if there's so much money in this portfolio that it doesn't matter if I take profits here, 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 or even down here. Because if I need $50,000 a year to retire in the Western countries, 50,000 times 10 years is 500,000. I'm going to give myself 20 years of runway. So right there, 50 times 10 is 500,000. That's for 10 years. So 20 years would be $1 million. So I would take out $1 million here. I don't give a shit if this was here, 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 or here. It doesn't matter to me because there's so much money in this portfolio. Are you in that same situation, Harvey Williams? Are you in a situation where you have enough money in your portfolio where you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? This one you do. With $4 million, you can pretty much take out $1 million right now. You don't have to wait until it goes up to 6.5 million or 7 million. You can do it right here, right? Even though this is not the best place to take profits. This is not the best place. The best place to take profits is on this side of the mountain, not on this side of the mountain. So the best place to take profits would be somewhere right here, okay? Not down here. But there's so much money in this portfolio, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And if you, Harvey, have this portfolio, then it doesn't matter what I do or what the rest of the viewers on this channel do because it doesn't fucking matter because you got so much money in here. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to wait until it goes to the top of the channel to take profits. You can take profits right now. And why? Because after you take out $1 million, you got 20 years worth of living expenses. You can still got $3 million in your portfolio. The market goes up another 1x or 3x. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference in your life because there's so much money in this portfolio. Now, let's take 2 zeros off this portfolio and you can say that you only have $41,000. Well, if you have $41,000, I would not take profits because you don't have enough money to do anything. Whether you're in a Western country or a non-Western country, it doesn't matter. There's not enough money in there for you to do anything. You understand that, Mr. Harvey? I'm not trying to be a smart ass with you. I'm just telling you the truth, the reality of what I see of how to be an efficient trader. So I don't want you to take what my response is and think that I'm being a hard ass or I'm being a jackass. I'm just telling you that some of the questions that some of you guys ask, I cannot answer it because I don't have all the information. Okay? When Harvey, when you said, why make an emergency broadcast? I made this emergency broadcast for my students. And I made it public so other people that are not in our training program can also benefit from it in some way. You are not one of our students. So you should be grateful that I'm even broadcasting this and allowing you to even see it. And I'm even answering your questions. right? So don't be an ungrateful viewer, okay? Um, I don't know why Harvey keeps asking the same questions. He wants to know, should I take profits or not? I don't know why he keeps asking me that 100 times for. Right? If you ask a different question, I'll answer it, Harvey, but I'm not going to keep answering the same question that you keep asking. You keep rewording it as if I'm going to understand it differently, and that's going to make me answer your question, right? No matter how you reword it, I don't know what the variables are. Okay, I don't know what your goals are. I don't know how much money you have in your portfolio, so I cannot answer you. Each person has a different goal. Each person has a different amount of money in their portfolio. Those two variables, if they're missing, I cannot answer it if those two variables are missing. Krisa 2000 asks, Ty, when you take profits, do you make the stable currency continue to work for you by generating a yield? I normally don't do that. Let me answer that again. It depends. If I put it into municipal bonds for like 1 or 2%, I'm willing to do that. But I'm not going to take my 20 years of runway or my 10 years of runway and go put it into some DeFi platform and earn 8%, 9% interest on it, because I'm giving that money to somebody else. I'm not going to give that money to someone else, because if I lose that money, I'm going to be fucked. I'm not going to be able to wait out until the next bull market if somebody loses my 5 years of runway or somebody loses my 10 years of runway. I cannot take that risk. When I take out that 5 years of runway, I don't do shit with it. I give myself $50,000 a year. That's $50,000 a year. That's it. I don't do it, hey, if I want to go do something extra, then I'm going to go do a part-time job or go do something extra to pay for it. I'm not going to, I live within my means and I control my money so that I don't have to be stressed out. Okay. So the answer to you, Krisa 2000, I would not give my money to somebody else to earn a 8-9% yield. I would do it with bonds, with like really, really high quality bonds, but that's it. I wouldn't do it with anything else. Okay, Frog asked me if I took some profits back in May 2021 and September 2021. I took small profits, guys. As the market's going up, like right here in May, I would start taking small profits. Okay, now what is small to me might not be small to you guys, but it's small to me. So I'll take small profits, small chunks all the way up here. Okay, that's how. And then in September was like right here. I took a little bit more too. I think it was here or somewhere right here. I forget. I have to go back and look. Right, but I took a little bit off. I think it was right here in this area. Okay. Ronaldo from Jakarta. Let me see what question. Why do I think that? Okay, when me and Leon say that we project that it's going to go to 100, 200,000 as bull market, guys, that's a projection. It's an estimate based on the fundamental analysis that we see, based on how the hedge funds and the institutions are pouring in, right? Based on everything that we've seen and based on the potential that it moves in previous bull markets and stuff, that's how we come up with a number of between 100 to 200,000, right, for this bull market. This bull market is not over, guys. Like just because we have a down trend, look, guys. You guys all agree when I draw this that we're in an up market, an uptrend. But whenever you guys look at this only, like this, of course, all you guys see is it's a downtrend, but it's not. It's an uptrend market. We haven't seen enough evidence, right? In order for me to believe that we're in a bear market, guys, I have to see like really bad fundamental analysis. Like, do we have any bad news in crypto? We don't have any bad news in crypto. I haven't heard anything bad or seriously bad in crypto. Can you guys name one piece of bad, really major bad news in crypto? There isn't. I haven't heard anything that is horrible, anything that is big, okay? Nothing that would disrupt the markets. Now, we had this crash because the Federal Reserve in America said that they need to raise rates. They didn't raise rates, interest rates. They said they needed to, or they should consider raising rates. So if they said that and the market tanked and now we're back up here, right? I want you guys to think about this, okay? I want you guys to think about this from a fundamental perspective, okay? From a fundamental perspective, if you guys look at the Typhoon 30 cryptocurrency market index, which is a representation of the entire crypto market, right? This is a representation of the entire crypto market. I want you guys to think about this, right? In 2020, we had this crash. The bull market actually started back here in 2019, right? Right there. But then the idiots at Mount Gox, the bankruptcy that's going on, that happened at the Mount Gox in Japan, they decided to dump all the Bitcoins that they need to sell, and they crashed the market. Those fucking idiots, right? The people at Kraken told them, don't do this. You're going to crash the whole market. And the people there, they were like, oh shit, we got to do it. They were panicking and everything, right? So that's what crashed this. And then when it started going, after that, they finished selling their Bitcoins, they started going back up. And then we had the bullshit COVID and it crashed this. So I want you guys to think about this. We have been on lockdown. Look at this. Look at this move, man. I want you guys to think about this. We had the first time in human history where the entire world was locked down. Nobody can go anywhere. Nobody can come in and out of their house. And this is what the crypto market did. In the worst news, the worst fundamental analysis you could ever imagine, economies are locked down. People can't go to work. Supply chains are shut down. The worst, absolute worst scenario that you can ever imagine happening in the market happened. And what did the crypto market do? It continued going up. You guys see that? It went up from 200 points to 2,000 points. It went up 10x during the worst news that you can imagine in human history. So why would I think that we're in a bear market right now? This right here, the reason why I said we're still in the middle of a bull market is because, first of all, the trend is still there, okay? Like, even if you draw it right here, before it fell down here, yeah, it fell down here, but now it's back up here. You guys see that? Even if you drew the trend line right here, well, it broke through. Ty, it's a bear market. No, it has to break through and stay down there. It can't just break down and come right back where it was at, and we call it a bear market. That's not how it works. That's not how bear markets work, okay? So you got to have some bad news to go along with this. And there hasn't been any major bad news to lead me to believe that we are in a bear market other than the price crashing, okay? So all this right here, there's a lot of margin trades that were liquidated. So to me, that's just a bunch of fucking idiots or a bunch of risk takers or a bunch of gamblers that are taking risks to trade, right? That has nothing to do with the fundamentals of how the market works. That's the reason why you guys keep hearing me tweet out that we're still in the middle of a bull market, right? Just because it crashes like this, it has to break this trend and stay below it, right? Even if you draw your trend channel like this, it has to break through and stay below it for a few months or something for me to believe that we're in a bear market. You can't just break it last week and come back up this week and I call it a bear market. That's not how trading works. It's not how the market works, right? All right, Bitcoin Jedi says, why did you have so many heart attacks so young? Is this an issue in your family? The reason why I had so many heart attacks is because I grew up in a poor fishing village, and after the war, we had to leave the country of Vietnam, and I lived in a Malaysian refugee camp for a year, starving, okay? Starving and scrounging for food in the refugee camps. And then when I came to America, right, my family was poor. We had to go work in the fields. So the 3 heart attacks I had came from poverty, okay? It came from poverty, from being so poor and stressed out all the time. Okay. And then I did not finish high school. I hung around with the wrong friends. I ended up selling drugs, went to prison for almost 14 years. And there is a lot of stress in prison when guys that are 3 times bigger than you want to put their dick in your ass, okay? Trying to go up in your ass because there's no girls around. So when they see new young guys that come in like me, that's 18 years old, the first thing that Butch and Bubba and all these guys want to do is make you their girlfriend, okay? And so you got to fight these guys off, and you always got to worry about guys trying to put their dick in your ass, okay? That's why it's stressful. So for me to go through 14 years of prison and have 3 heart attacks, that is normal, okay? Frog says, is there a private group chat? Yeah, we have a private group chat for our cryptocurrency investing blueprints only. Okay. Dean Walbridge said, so old grizzled veterans taught you how to trade crypto. No. How the fuck would they know about how to trade crypto? They taught me how to trade, right? They taught me how to trade. And then I took their knowledge, right? Once you learn how to trade and you understand how to manage risk, you can go into a new asset class like crypto and be able to figure it out, right? So I'm not answering any of the Vietnamese questions because I'm going to have a separate broadcast for the Vietnamese audience, right? So finally, Harvey Williams, you get it. Yeah, exactly. He says, that's what I'm expecting, bro. You got millions right now. Stop waiting and being greedy. Hey, guys, if you have millions, right, in your portfolio, making more money is not going to change the quality of your life. Like right now, why the fuck did I buy this $1.1 million condo in the middle of a fucking bull market? Why? If I believe the market's going to go up another 3x, right, why not leave this money there and make another $3 million, right? Why did I take it out? Because making another $3 million is not going to change the quality of my life, guys. You understand? I want to improve the quality of my life, right? I did not have financial freedom until I was 44 years old. For the time that I came to America, from the time that I left Vietnam at 5 or 6 years old, I've been living in poverty and been stressed out, there's several times in my life where I had to sleep on the streets, right? I remember there was a time I was in Louisiana, right? And I didn't have a place to stay, okay? And I followed these railroad tracks because I was lost. I didn't know where I was going. And it was cold. I didn't have a place to stay. I just wanted to get indoors so I can get away from the cold wind. And I remember there was a business that was manufacturing storage units. So it would be like a very small building, just a little bit higher than me. And, it would be maybe as wide as my arm length. And they would sell these storage units so you can put it in the backyard of your house and just store your lawnmower, store your garden tools, store your garbage cans and things like that, your water hose, just a storage unit, a small storage unit, small storage building. And I was so grateful that this business was there and they had a barbed wire fence around their business. So I remember that I didn't just want to sleep on the streets because I didn't want somebody to attack me or rob me while I was sleeping on the streets. And I was so thankful I ran into this business that was building it. So I climbed the fence over the barbed wire and I went into one of the storage units that they had like 20 storage units in the yard. And I went in one of them and I closed the door and I slept there at night. I didn't eat anything that night because I had no money for food. And I remember my stomach hurting, but I was grateful that I was able to climb over the barbed wire fence into this storage manufacturing place and sleep inside one of their storage units. And I was about 18 years old, I think, at that time. This was like right before I went to prison, okay? So I've been poor and struggling most of my life. The reason why you guys see me passionate on this channel to talk about life-changing profits and fuck the bullshit college stuff that they teach you in college and focus on investing your money and how to do it correctly so that you can get out of poverty, because I struggled financially for most of my life. Some of you guys might say, hey, Ty, if you're a multimillionaire and you got gazillions of dollars already, you're living in a high-rise condo in a luxurious place in Bangkok, what the fuck you worry about broadcasting and shit for? Because that's what I enjoy doing. Because at the times when I was sleeping in that shelter and many other times when I was homeless and I didn't have food or I didn't have water, I would always tell myself that one of these days when I figure out how to solve this money issue, I'm going to share it with other people that want to learn it. So if some of you guys up there, this information I share with you guys, it may not be important to you. It may not mean anything to you. But there are people out there that I know in this world. There are 7.8 billion people on this earth. And there are people that happen to have the fortune to come by our channel and they see there's so much fake bullshit information about money on the market right now online. You don't know who the fuck to trust. I mean, you think that when you see channels like Superman or BitBoy Crypto or these fucking bullshit channels like that, you think that those guys are fucking trying to help people? I don't need your fucking money. I already made a shitload of money in trading crypto. I don't need your fucking money, okay? But I feel that the experiences I had to get to where I'm at today, it's going to help out a lot of people that are seeking the truth, or they just want to know, how do you really do this without all the bullshit, okay? Without all the fucking 1000x pump here or 100x coin over here, 5 gems give you 1000x. Shut the fuck up, you stupid ass motherfuckers. Okay, so I'm just sharing that with you. Okay, all right. 5C4V3NG3R. I don't know, 5C Avenger or whatever he's trying to spell right here. Okay, he asked, I have 10,000 in USDT. What should I do? Hey, we're in the middle of a bull market, guys. Look, we're in the middle of a market. I don't give a shit if you guys draw a trend line like that. You draw a trend line like that, right? We're in an uptrend, man. Okay, I ain't buying shit. When the motherfucker falls down all the way down to here, when whatever the high is, guys, you guys don't have to ask me. Whatever the high is, take the high, right? And go down 60%. 60% right there. 60%. Okay. When it falls below 800 points and stays down there for a few weeks, a few months, that's when you can start buying. That's when you can start buying. Okay. But if it hasn't crossed over the 50% mark, right? I'm not thinking that it's a bear market. It has to cross under there. And the reason why I say 60% is because this is a huge support area right here. So if it breaks below that and stays below that, okay, that's it. It's guaranteed that we're in a bear market. I don't have to argue. We don't have to dispute it anymore. Okay, so you don't have to ask me. Just wait until it falls. All right. If you have cash in hand, guys, don't rush to just go out there and use it. Just give yourself, when you don't have a lot of money, give yourself the best opportunity to reduce the risk so that you can make money from it. Right? It's more important when you guys have $10,000. It's more important to get that $10,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 to $18,000 to $20,000. Stop thinking about that 100x or 1,000x. Okay, stop worrying about that nonsense, that bullshit. Right? Focus on just growing that money. If you take that $10,000 and you grow it to $12,000, you have already beat thousands of people that can't even make a profit. Okay. You learn how to do it right, guys. The crypto market is a new asset class. It's going to grow for several more decades. Don't worry about missing out. Learn how to do it correctly from the beginning, and you guys are going to make a lot of life-changing profits, guys. Don't rush. Learn to do it correct and learn to do it right so that 5 years from now, you are in a bigger portfolio 5 years from now than you are today. All right? Okay. Yeah, Harvey, appreciate Ty is a straight talker, not like other YouTubers talk bullshit, So I don't need to relax because I expect. Yeah, you don't need to relax. I'm gonna tell you like it is. You tell me like it is. You tell me, hey Ty, you fucking got an ugly face or something. You got some chinky eyes. I don't give a fuck, right? Because it's probably the truth, right? I don't get mad. Say whatever you want. Okay, Frog says, where's Leon Fu? Why isn't he posting anything, right? because he's been busy, man. He's been just in 2021 alone. He's been to several countries doing research for our team, man. We got a whole team, guys. He's got to do shit. He ain't got time to post, man. Posting shit online ain't gonna change his life, right? Posting shit online ain't gonna change his life, man. He's been doing research in Dubai and Portugal, in a bunch of different countries to see where, how to keep our wealth for the next generation, guys. I mean, there's levels to this game, guys. And we're working at the higher levels to try to go to the next level. Okay, Leah and I are not worried about picking the right coin or things like that, or technical analysis, anything like that, guys. We got to worry about how we're gonna pass this wealth on to the next generation. Bitcoin Jedi says Leon's enjoying his money. You're damn right. He sure is. All right. Okay. All right. I want to cover this. Make sure I finish because I got all these notes here, guys. Right. So I know we spent a lot of time talking about the ideal time to take profits versus life-changing profits. What I'm saying is that, this also goes back to answer what Harvey Williams was asking. When should we take profits, right? I believe that you should take profits. I believe that you should take profits when the market gives you an opportunity to change your life, not when you can make millions of dollars, right? I retired before I made millions of dollars, guys, right? Yes, I have millions now, but when I retired, I did not have millions, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. Okay, so somebody asked earlier about the mental stress, when the market pulls back. So I know that was going to be one of the questions, so I made a note here to address that issue, okay? So one of the ways to reduce the mental stress of a market pullback is to understand the difference between the long-term and the intermediate term versus the short-term trends. And I explained that to you guys earlier already, right? So I was explaining stuff out of order. So you got to ask yourself, can I handle this swing? Okay. So let's go back to the, let me choose a portfolio size that I need that allows me to explain this concept to you. Okay. 400,000 or 500,000 here. This is a good number here. All right. Because it's the reason why I chose this portfolio is because it's 450,000 and it's right on that edge where you can retire early or you cannot retire early. Okay, so this is just right on that edge. So this is the part that's hard. Like the other one where we had $4-point-something million in there, that's very easy. Fuck it, just there's so much money here. Just you need $1 million for 20 years of runway. Just take it out right now. You don't have to wait for anything, right? This portfolio here it's right on the. You're right on the fence, guys, right? You can fall this way or you can fall this way. You can retire early or you can continue working your day job, right? So there's an opportunity here, okay? So let's say that I had $450,000 in my portfolio, okay? It all comes down to the math, guys, and I'm going to do this slowly so that you guys follow me, right? If I do too fast, I'm afraid that you guys might not understand me completely, okay? So let's just say that I'm living in Dallas. I'm going to give you two scenarios, guys. One scenario is where I'm in a Western country, and one scenario where I'm outside the Western country. I'm in Asia somewhere, in Southeast Asia, right? So I'm going to do the Western country first. Let's just say that I have this $450,000 portfolio, and you know what? I fucked up. I didn't take profits up here or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. What matters is what am I going to do right now with $450,000 in my portfolio? So I know that I need $50,000 a year, and I need a minimum of 5 years runway in order for me to quit my day job. 10 years would be better, but 5 years, if I have 5 years, I know that I can make some money in the next 5 years and just wait for the bull market again before I make some more money and take out some more money, right? So I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to say to myself, I'm going to pull up my trusty calculator, right? Don't ask anybody. Look at the charts and then pull up a calculator and then calculate it yourself, right? So I need $50,000 a year times 5 years. That's $250,000. So if I have $450,000, and we're gonna do role play two scenarios, guys. one where I take out profits and what happens if it goes up and down after I take out the profit, and then not take the profits and see what happens when it goes up and down. Okay, so we have right now 450,000 in our portfolio, and I'm going to take out the $250,000 for my 5 years of runway, and I'm left with 200,000. And I'm just going to use a conservative estimate that, man, as soon as I took out the $250,000, the market goes up 1x. So I get 400,000 in my crypto portfolio, plus the $250,000 in my cash portfolio, my runway portfolio, okay, my spending portfolio. So I have a total of $650,000. Now, what happens if I do nothing and I just leave the 450,000 there the way it is, right? So, well, before I talk about that, let's talk about, in this case, I talk about the good case scenario where it goes up. I'm going to talk about the bad case scenario now where the market crashes as soon as I take out the $250,000. So let's just say that we go from, we know that at the top up here, it was 726. Let's round off to 725,000. So we say that, hey, man, during the bear market, everything crashes 90%, right? So 725,000 times 0.1, which is 10%. That means that this portfolio will go from 725,000 all the way down to 72,000, right? So 72,000 would be somewhere down here, right there. So it would crash all the way down to here. So if I crash down to 72,000 and I add the 250,000 that I took out, I have $322,000 to my name. And I have also 5 years of runway. Am I okay with that? The question is, am I okay with that? What about you, Harvey? Are you okay with it? What about you, Bitcoin Jedi? Are you okay with that if that was you? What about you, Frog? Are you okay with that if that was you? All right. So that's one scenario. On the high end, you have 650,000 if it goes up 1x. On the bad end, right? On the downside, you're left with 322,000 from here. If the market does crash 90%, like Ty and Leon say. All right. So if I clear that out, now that's one scenario. That's one scenario if I take out the 250,000 out now. Now, let's say that I don't take out the 250,000 out now and the 450,000 goes up 1x, right? Then that means I have 900,000. Well, what's the difference between the good case scenario? So 900,000 minus the 650,000 that we had, that was a good case scenario down here, and we get 250,000 difference, right? So that 250,000 difference, is that worth it to you? What is more important to you? The peace of mind that you can quit for the next 5 years, quit your day job for the next 5 years, is that more important to you? Or is it more important to you to have the $900,000 if the market happens to go up 1x? There's no guarantee that it'll go up 1x, but if you take out the $250,000 today, that's a guaranteed 5 years that you don't have to go to work anymore. What's more important to you? The guaranteed 5 years of not going to work at your day job, or the potential for it to go up 1x and hit $900,000? What is more important to you guys? Only you know the answer to that. Only you know the answer to that. No one can answer that for you. That's what makes trading tough. It's not finding the right coin. It's not technical analysis. It's making that tough decision. What is better for me and my family in this scenario where I only have 450,000 left in the portfolio and I need 250,000 to quit my day job? What is more important? What decision should I make at this moment? Only you know. I can share with you my experience. I can share with you what I would do, right? For me, there's no doubt. I want to quit my day job. I want to quit my day job so bad that if I have 450,000 right now, I don't give a shit. I'm not taking the chance of this falling down to 72,000. I'm taking out the 250,000 right now. I'm quitting my day job, and then I'm going to sit and wait for the next bull market. Now, I'm not a lazy bum, so even when I quit my day job, I'm going to still do some side jobs here and there once in a while just to keep my mind active, because I'm not one of those people that's going to sit on my ass and do nothing, okay? I'm not one of those do-nothing guys, okay? I'm not one of those. So that would be hard for me to just take the 250,000, quit my day job for 5 years, and sit there on my front porch and do nothing for 5 years. I'm not that type of person. I'm going to stay active. Okay, so so if you guys understand that, do you guys understand that, guys? Am I explaining this to you guys in a clear way? I'm doing my best to try to convey what's in here that's abstract in here and convey it to you guys so that you guys understand it. Can you guys? I'm gonna pause right here. Do you guys have any questions about what I just said about this scenario? Anyone have any? Hey, Kong Vo Fook asked, how did you cross the emotion when you sold Bitcoin at 45,000 and then Bitcoin rise to 65,000? I don't care. If I had to sell at 45,000 and goes to 60, I don't care. The reason why, because I'm selling it to fulfill my personal financial goals. If I sell this right here, this example that we're looking at right here, the KND portfolio here, if I sell it and take out 250,000, I don't care if it goes up higher. Great. There's no regret, because quitting my day job for 5 years is more important to me than this going up more. You guys are focused on the wrong thing, guys. You should focus on, in my opinion, there's no wrong or right here, guys. I need to correct what I just said. There's no wrong or right here. There's just, does it fit within your personal financial goals? If your goal is to quit, my goal was to quit my day. I hate sitting in traffic. To me, sitting in traffic is worse than sitting in prison. The reason why is because of this. Because in prison, I was sentenced to drugs I didn't have, so I was stuck in prison. There's nothing I can do. But traffic is a choice that we personally make. Prison, right? Once you're in there, they lock the key. Your ass is stuck in that prison cell until the day they let you out. But in a traffic, that's a choice. Like, hey, I pulled up in here behind these exhaust pipes, shooting smoke exhaust in my face, and I got to sit here and wait for an hour, right? I remember I was going to work in 2012. No, 2013 was when I discovered Bitcoin. I was working at this energy brokerage firm. It's like 15 minutes from my house. And they were doing highway construction. They were building like one of the biggest highways in America. I think it was like, I can't remember how wide it is. It must be 12 or 15 lanes wide. It's massive, okay? It's a beautiful highway, but it took them years to build this damn highway. And every day I would go to the energy brokerage firm and I would be sitting there stuck for an hour in traffic. And I was so miserable, right? I was so miserable. And I was thinking like, holy shit, I left the prison to come out here and sit inside a goddamn traffic prison. Inside a traffic prison. I'm sitting there. For a whole year, I was sitting in the traffic prison for an hour and 20 minutes in the morning and an hour and 20 minutes in the evening to get home. That's like 3 hours of my life, just gone, just poof, just like magic, just Harry Potter magic shit, man, just gone, right? And 3 hours of my life, I done wasted 14 years in prison. Now I'm wasting a whole year of my life sitting in traffic for 3 hours. Man, as soon as I got a chance to get $250,000, I can quit working for 5 years, I took advantage of that opportunity right away. I didn't have to ask anybody twice, didn't think twice, nothing. Fucking took it, done. Okay? So I don't regret after I took it out and it went up. I don't give a shit. I got my 5 years of freedom back. I want to jump in on this. FM Alexander says, read Jesse Livermore's book, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, Patience Wins. Okay, so I have a firm policy about trading. I never learn from somebody that's not trading for a living, that's not making money in trading, okay? And Jesse Livermore, in the book, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, right? The character in the book, Jesse Livermore, right? When I first read that book in prison, I looked up to that guy because he made a shitload of money. But then I found out later on that he lost everything. So to me, he was just a gambler. Okay. There's no way that even if the market goes to zero today and I lose everything that I have left in the markets, I still got money. Okay. There's no way I'm going to go make several millions of dollars and let a market crash wipe me clean like Jesse Livermore did. Okay. So even though it's a famous trading book, I read it for entertainment. You can read it for entertainment purposes, but there's nothing to learn about how he trades in that book. Okay. Because stop wasting time learning from people that don't trade for a living. That's all I got to say. Okay, some of you guys are asking me about different coins. I'm not going to answer any of those questions. This is on taking profits because some of you guys have been bugging me so much. All right. Hey, Joey says, seeing your videos since 2016 and today, I have a bigger portfolio than back then. Congratulations, Joey. I'm really happy for you, man. Right? Right? Hey, cryptocurrency edutainment. Man, this guy, man, I haven't seen him in so long. I gotta give him a call, man. You gotta give me a call, bro. Right? You disappeared off the face of the earth somehow, and I would like to hear from you again. Right? I still got your contact info, so I will give you a holler. Hey, Frog asks, how many years of expenses does your portfolio have, and how many years will you take off then? Is that understandable? Yeah. How many years of runway do you need for your living expenses versus how much is in your portfolio? And guys, I told you there's 3 situations you're going to find yourself in this broadcast when you're listening. You're in a situation where you don't have enough money to do anything. You just started. I remember someone asking me, hey, Ty, I only got like $5,000 in my portfolio. How do I retire early? You can't. How the fuck are you going to retire early with $5,000 in your portfolio, man? You got to start somewhere. If you start with 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, we all got to start somewhere. When I first started in crypto, guys, I only started with $1,600. I didn't start with a fucking $1 million or $100,000. I started with $1,600 when I first got into crypto. That's it. Okay. I came from a poor background. I just came out of prison. I just had 3 heart attacks. I just had 2 kids. I just got married. I had no money left. I only had $1,600. But you know what I did? Between 2013 and 2016, yeah, I think it was either late 2015 or 2016, for like a 3-4 year period there, I bought Bitcoin every chance that I got when it was under $500. If I got a tax return, instead of telling my wife about it, I'd take and go buy Bitcoins with it. If I got a bonus at work, instead of going spending it like a bunch of idiots do, right, I go and buy Bitcoins with it. I bought Bitcoins wherever I could when it was under $500, okay? So if you guys have like these small portfolios right here, you can't really say that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. What do you guys want me to say when you have a $10,000 portfolio? What do you want me to tell you? Like when you ask me, hey man, how do I retire from this $10,000 portfolio? It's simple. You got to let the fucker grow and stop fucking with it and stop listening to a bunch of fucking idiots and let that portfolio grow until it's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 before you consider retirement. Do I have to still work? Well, no fucking shit. You only got $10,000. What do you think? What the fuck do you think, man? Why you gotta ask me that for? Why do you ask me some shit like that for when the numbers don't work and then you make me have to fucking answer and tell you you're fucking an idiot or what? You can't retire off of $10,000. Why would you ask me that for? Right? Hey, Mr. Udall makes a good point. He says, ties in. Many altcoins have already been rugged and was as much as 85% down in USD already. There's much point towards us having the shortest bear market in crypto history now, most likely 8 to 12 months. That's possible. I'm not denying that. There's no right or wrong in crypto, right? And nobody knows when and nobody knows how much. But here's the thing that I want you guys to keep in mind. I don't count a rug pull or a scam as being a coin being down 85% because it's a rug pull or a scam. I look at coins like there's two things here, guys. One, I got to look at the coins that have a good reputation like Cardano, Polkadot, Ethereum, Bitcoin, right? Those coins like that, when they're down 80, 90%, then I would, and the Taifu index is down 85, 90%, then I would say that the market is down 80, 90%. But if a coin gets rug pulled or it gets scammed and the coin loses value because of a scam, I don't consider that a signal or a confirmation signal of a bear market. It's a scam, okay? Okay, Bitcoin Jedi said, I watched my portfolio go from 500,000, 500,000 down to 50,000 in 2018. I didn't blink. Yeah, you didn't blink. I wouldn't have blinked either because I'd be like, what the fuck just happened to my portfolio, right? But let's not let that happen again in this bull market, Bitcoin Jedi. Many of us have made that mistake in the past, including myself. I've made mistakes like that many times in the past, but it's okay as long as you learn from that mistake, right? I hung around the wrong people in the ghetto, in the black neighborhood that I lived in. I hung around with the wrong friends and I ended up selling drugs and I ended up going to prison. But you know what? It's okay because I learned my lesson to choose better friends next time. So nowadays, when I make friends with somebody, I'm very selective and I choose good friends. I don't choose fucking dumbasses that's going to encourage me to go do something that's going to land me in prison again. All right. So that's why I hang around guys like LeonFood.com because ever since I met LeonFood.com, right, he's like, hey, man, you should buy some of this Facebook stock. You should buy some of these Apple stocks. You should buy some of these Tesla stocks, right? So there are guys out there and people out there that can influence you in a negative way. But likewise, there are also people that can influence you in a positive way too. So it's a choice that you have. That's why the Chinese have that yin and yang symbol, the black and the white symbol. Whatever that's bad over here, there's also good. Whatever there's good, there's also bad. Do we have some shitty traders online? Right? Yes, we do. Do we have some good traders online, like yours truly right here? Yes, we do. Okay. Look for the good and ignore and leave the bad alone. Okay. So number 5, I previously talked about how to reduce the mental stress of a market pullback. I talked about, you need to know the long term versus the intermediate term versus the short term trends, right? The reason why you need to know that is this, guys. Let's look at this K&D portfolio, right? If someone has $450,000 in their portfolio, let's look at how much this portfolio started with. Let's see if we can find out here. I'm going to put this on the weekly. Let's see how much this guy started with or this girl started with. In this portfolio, they started with somewhere around 37,000. Okay. Wow. So it went to 45,000 or up to 70,000. That's a massive gain. Right. So it went up. Wow. They went up 20x on this person. Right. So even if during this time, if you look at it, it's still around 15x right there. Okay. So I'm going to say this, guys. The reason why it's important to understand the long-term trend, the intermediate-term trend, and the short-term trends that happen in between, this is very important, guys. And this is another tough thing. Remember, the first tough thing is the decision that you have to make for your portfolio that best benefits your family. And only you know that. Only you know that. No one else can make that decision except for you, right? I can guide you. I can share with you my experience. I can share you with other students that have done and the outcome and the result of it. But in the end, it's only you that can make that decision. Now, here is another one of those tough decisions that you have to make in trading that no one else can make for you, okay? So if you guys notice, right, I'm going to borrow a trend line right here and just draw it from here up to here. And I'm going to go into the settings and I'm going to uncheck this extended. And then I'm going to show the distance, right? Let's see. So from here, okay. So what this when I show the distance, it shows that from here to here, it's $473,000. Okay. So notice that the swing, the distance, the vertical distance or the width of this, okay, the width of this long-term trend channel is worth $357,000. That's how wide this channel is. It's a 350,000 channel wide. Okay. Now, I want you guys to notice this. When we look at the intermediate term trend, I'm not even going to waste time looking at the short-term trend because we don't trade in and out of the short-term trend. It's either long-term or intermediate term, right? Now, I want you guys to notice this. The height or the width of this long-term trend versus this one right here, I want you guys to notice this, okay? I'm going to copy and paste this. Okay? And I want you guys to notice the width of this. Okay. Now, the width of this, where it goes from the top of the channel down to the bottom, down to the top, and back down to the bottom, that's called a swing. So a swing trader is someone that would buy down here, and it pops up to here, sell it, and then wait for it to come back down, right? Buy it, wait for it to swing between these long-term channels. Now, another type of swing trader would swing between these short terms right here. Okay. I don't recommend doing that. It's going to cause a lot of tax. You pay a lot of taxes, and you're just working for the tax man. Okay. So I want you guys to look at this and ask yourself, this right here is 357,000, the width of this channel. This channel is 122,000. Now, if this trader put in 37,000, I'm almost certain that this trader can handle a $100,000 swing. Okay, $120,000 swing in the markets. See that? 122,000. Okay, swing in the market. You may be able to handle that, but emotionally, it's going to be tough to handle a $357,000 swing, right? So even if this goes up to here, every time it goes down, it's going to be a $350,000 swing. And I want you guys to think about this. Can I handle it? Can you handle it? Emotionally, can you handle it? Mentally, can you handle it? All right. So you need to ask yourself, can I handle this? And am I going to be able to handle my portfolio going from $725,000 down to $345,000? And here's the answer, okay, guys. Here's what I'm not going to say. Here's the answer, but here's the reality. Certain people are mentally tougher than other people. Okay. So let's just say that I've been through lots of hardships in my life, through prison, through refugee camps, through living in poverty, living in the ghettos, had to fight in the ghetto with the guys around the neighborhood, the black guys in my neighborhood, being shot by them, me having to shoot them, being shot by the cops, and me, running from the cops and shit like that. I've been through a lot of mental stress in my life. And I guess you can say that I have a tolerance for mental stress. So because of that, for me to handle the mental stress of a $350,000 swing from one side of the channel from the top of the channel to the bottom, let's just pretend that I can handle it. Well, I'm not going to pretend I can handle it. I've handled multiple millions of dollar swings before, so that's not a mentally tough for me to do anymore. Okay. So if I can handle it, because I've been trading, I've made almost 10,000 trades in my life, and I can handle it. I don't want you guys to beat yourself up and panic or stress out because you cannot do that yourself. You guys understand that? I don't want you guys to freak out and go, oh man, this is so tough. I can't handle the stress of this. All right. If you cannot handle the stress of swinging from one side of this channel to the other side of the long-term channel, then you have to know yourself and say, hey, you know what? Ty might be able to do that because mentally he can handle a lot of stress, but I cannot handle that. I cannot watch my portfolio go from 700,000 down to 400,000, right? Well, then when you get up here, you have to take some profits. You have to take some profits, okay? You got to take some profits, okay? If you know that mentally you cannot handle that, right? Now, it's easy for me to say that because now we can look at history and see what the market looks like. But let's just assume that this is what it looked like before, okay? This is what it looked like before, right? And this is all we see. You see that? Well, if we do that, well, then the height is like what? This is 400,000 here down to here. That's about 250,000. So that's about $150,000 swing. And you might say, hey, Ty, you know, I can handle this swing from this side to this side, back and forth. Okay, you can handle that. Okay, so you can handle that. Everything's okay. What happened here? Now the channel just got wider, right? So if we update our trend channel now, right, our channel just went from a what is this? A 550 down to 250. So that's like a 300,000 swing, right? Can you still handle that? The size of the channel just widened by 2x. Can you handle that mentally, right? And you say, okay, I can handle that, right? Okay, let's see, right? And you might say, hey, you know what? After it widened like this, right? It widened like this. Okay, you get to here, now it's at 7,000. You're like, hey, you know, historically, it goes from here, right, down to here. You know what? I'm not going to be able to handle that. So if you know you cannot handle it, then you got to take profit somewhere here on this green candle or on these green candles. You got to take some profit out. Why? To reduce your mental stress when it goes to the other side of the channel. Okay? Now, at this point, I can still handle it. But I can tell you right now, at the rate that I'm growing my portfolio in the next bull market, I will not be able to handle it. I can tell you right now, no matter how mentally tough I am, right? My portfolio is going to be big enough to where this swing right here, that's going to be like multiple millions of dollars. I'm not going to be able to mentally be able to withstand that. So even if I do not want to, I will have to take profit. So even though I believe it's going to go all the way up to here and keep going, right? I'm going to have to take some profits down here. I'm going to have to take some profits here. I'm going to have to take some profits here. Why? To ease the mental stress. So sometimes you don't take profits because you want to take profits. You take it to ease the mental stress and anxiety in here. This is the shit that I'm telling you guys right now. None of these motherfuckers like BitBoy Crypto or fucking Superman or these jackasses are going to fucking tell you that because they don't fucking trade this shit. That's why they don't fucking you don't ever hear them talk about this shit that I'm telling you guys, okay? So this is what, so now, right, this right here, I can already tell you guys right now, when this happens in the future or from now into the future, it's not going to matter to me. But these big long-term swings right here, that will hurt me in the next bull market. It will mentally stress me out. So I do have to take more profits, okay? But in this one, in between here, that does not bother me at all. But that's me. You have to ask yourself, is it going to bother you? Is that going to be a problem for you? If it is, then you have to plan ahead and go, hey, you know what? Hey, you know, Ty's right, man. You know, I can handle this $150,000 swing, right, distance between this channel from one side of the channel to here, but I cannot handle this big ass swing of $350,000. That's just way too much swing for me. Okay. So, and sometimes, like I said, you don't know it when you first start out because it looks like this. But then after this happens, then you have to reevaluate your approach and say, hey, man, am I going to be able to handle that swing again in the future? Because if it goes up to here to 700,000, that means at the bottom of the channel is going to be somewhere down here. That means I have to take a $350,000 swing. Can I emotionally handle it? Even though it's not time to take profits right now, can I emotionally handle that? For a lot of beginners, the answer is no. So if the answer is no, then you have to take profits near the top, even if you don't want to. Why? To reduce your mental stress so that you can ride out the trend for as long as you can. Because if not, you won't be able to ride out that trend. So let's say if that trend goes on for a year, year and a half, 2 years, you will not be able to ride it out for that long. after 2-3 months, it's going to be so stressful for you. You're going to panic and just sell everything or do something stupid and crazy. Okay, so that's how you reduce the mental stress of a market pullback. Okay, everyone has a different mental threshold of pain. You have to know yours, right? And sometimes if you're new to trading, you just don't know. You just don't know. So there's nothing you can do about that. You just don't know. So you have to go through it one time to see what it's like and then learn. Like, hey, in this bull market, hey, I realize I can't handle a $300,000 swing, right? So next time you do it, right, and you realize, hey, when it gets there, I got to take some profits. And then now maybe later on your portfolio goes from 450,000, now it's at 4 million, and a $300,000 swing is not a big deal no more because that's just a small percentage of your portfolio. So you will grow. Your mental toughness in trading will grow as your portfolio grows and as you gain more experience and as you practice taking profits and as you educate yourself on how to take profits correctly. Okay. Like I said, people with more money in their portfolio and more trading experience, those two things will allow them to have a higher pain threshold for mentally, so they can handle more mental stress and pain when their portfolio is pulling back. All right. Now, I got two issues that I want to cover with you guys, and I'll end this broadcast. Right. This sixth thing that I want to talk about, right, is what coins do I sell first when I do have to sell? And I'll just give you guys two quick pointers. Hey guys, hey, just pull up that curtain because I don't want to mess it up. So what coins do I sell first? What I normally do is I sell the coins with low market cap first. I sell the coins with low market cap, low liquidity, and they lag the market, meaning that the market has gone up 2x and this coin only goes up half an x or not even 1x. The market's gone up 10x and this coin's only gone up 1 or 2x, right? I'm not going to wait any longer. I mean, if the rest of the market's gone up 10x already and this market's still lagging behind, I'm getting rid of that. I don't care if it makes money or not. Okay, so that's the first thing I do. I sell the coins that's underperforming, that's lagging the market, right? And then I keep the coins that can survive the bear market. So if you're wondering, like, how come I only have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot, right? I have a little bit of Tezos, enough to run a node or two, but that's it. I sold most of my Tezos already in 2021, simply because I kept giving Tezos time, right? I liked it. All the fundamentals are good. It has the most money out of any of the crypto projects I've seen, right? But no matter how much I like it, the fact of the matter is it's not going up with the rest of the markets. The market's going up 5x, Tesla goes up only 1x. Market's going up 10x, Tesla only goes up 2 or 3x. And I cannot let my money keep sitting around waiting for that because I can't. So I sold most of it, and then I'll buy it back during the bear market, and then we'll try it again in the next bull market, okay? So I like to keep coins that can survive the bear market, right? Coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, right? Because remember the Typhoon 90-90 rule, guys. In a bear market, all the coins are going to crash 90%. Expect all the coins to crash 90%. And not only are they going to crash 90%, but 90% of the coins are going to be dead and never come back. Okay? So if you have 10 coins, just know that when the market crashes 90%, they're all going to crash 90%, and 9 of those coins will be dead. They'll never show up on the exchanges again after the bear market's over because nobody's trading it. It's dead. Nobody wants to trade it anymore. Okay? So that's the reason why we got to focus on the longer that you go into a bull market, the less coins that you want. You want to reduce the amount of coins that you have into very strong, stable, liquid coins. And you will make more money by riding out the trend longer versus holding all these bullshit altcoins that can just go to zero at any time and die forever. Okay? You don't want to take that chance. When you're a beginning trader, or you're an early trader, or you're a young trader, or you're a trader with a small portfolio, you want a higher probability of making a profit versus losing all your money. You don't worry about 100x or 1000x. If you protect your money and conserve it and keep it and not lose it, eventually that big winner that comes in with 20, 50, 100x, it's going to come into your portfolio. However, it won't do that if you lose all your portfolio. So the first thing that you always want to do is you look at, how do I reduce the risk? Ty said that when I go into trading for the first time, or I'm a beginning trader, or I don't have a lot of experience in trading, when I first come into trading, I'm walking through a minefield with thousands of mines laying on the ground everywhere. At any moment, I'm going to step on one of these things and blow my head off. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to be able to survive and get past that minefield. Most people, I've been coaching students how to trade for many, many years, since 2010. Okay. In stocks, Forex, futures, and everything. And the average time that someone blows their entire portfolio and loses everything is 3 to 6 months. If you can survive for 6 months or a year and not lose all your portfolio, you are way ahead of the crowd. Be patient, learn the trading skills, and in the end, you'll be able to take care of your family consistently. Okay? Don't rush and lose everything. All right? So this 7th part here, I'm going to open up to questions and answers. Okay? And I'll answer you guys any question that you guys have. All right. So I'm checking my students' group chat first. Okay. So Tam from Hong Kong, right? She's asking me, can I confirm the priority of the profit taking type? It's first, take out your lump sum goal. Yes, that's correct. After taking out the lump sum goal, shave off 1 to 2% of your portfolio weekly when we are at the top, 1/3 of the channel. Yes, that's one way. It's not the only way, okay? But that's one way. All right. And the lump sum, sometimes just remember, the lump sum goal doesn't always have to be all of it. It could be, like I use the example of the house. So let's say you got $1 million house that you want to get. You don't necessarily have to take out the whole $1 million lump sum, right? You can take out 20% for the down payment and enough payments for 5 years. I think we did the math earlier in this broadcast where it's about 450,000, right? So instead of taking out $1 million, you take out the 450,000, and that gives you can leave the other $500,000 in the market to continue growing for you. Okay, so yes, it's important to take out the lump sum to fulfill your goals first. All right. Number 3 is when we hit the new all-time high at roughly 100,000, we need to take out 20 to 40% of our portfolio. Yeah, I think just so you know, Tam, in Hong Kong, the top of the 3rd of the channel is going to happen a lot sooner than $100,000 Bitcoins. Okay, so what I mean by that is that, let me just delete all this. Oh, that's the wrong chart. Let's just say that we go to the cryptocurrency market index. So the way you measure this is like this, Tam. Okay. Let's just put this on a weekly so it's easier to see. So if you draw a 3-part trend channel, fib channel like this, okay? If you look at it, we can estimate the angle. See the angle of this right here? See that angle right there? We can estimate, see that? See how it goes up like there, and then the angle in which it climbs to the top is right there, same thing. Very, very similar. It's not perfect, but we can see that it's very similar. So let's just say that we put this here, then we can expect it to climb up to here. If it continues going up, if it doesn't go back down, if it continues the uptrend, then we can estimate. It's not perfect, guys. We can estimate that it's probably going to go in this path right here, right? Hey, if it goes here like that, hey, we're not going to complain about it, but just a rough estimate, right? So it's somewhere right here. So if we line this up vertically, then it's going to be sometime in when is this? Right here, we're in February. So sometime close to October, probably in late summer, early October, right? To go there. So this is on a weekly chart, guys. So this is a long-term time frame, right? So to go from here up to here, we take this and we measure it up to there, and it's about 100%, right? So just keep that number in mind, 100%, somewhere close to it. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. And we come down here and we look at the chart of Bitcoin, and we do the same thing, right? Let me change this to a weekly chart first. So if the market goes up like that, right? If it goes up like that, then we can project the same thing here. Here, right? So notice that it's not a perfect fit right there. So what I do is I just put it right here, and then I get another one, and I draw it out to here, right? So I'm saying that from there, I can expect it. I can estimate. It's not guaranteed, guys. There's nothing guaranteed. There's no certainty in trading. There's just uncertainty. It's a game of probability. So there's a probability it'll go up in this area right here. And that's going to put me somewhere in September. If you guys look at the bottom, September, October, right there, right? So as you can see, if we take profits, if you decide to take profits in the top 1/3 here, Tim, it's going to probably be around $80,000. Okay, it's not you. It might pull back a little bit before it goes up to 100,000. Now we don't know. It could just go from here and go straight right up to 100,000. Right? Nobody knows. Okay, but we're just using historical information to make a guesstimate. Even if it goes up to here, right? Once we get into this red zone, that's when I would start taking 1 to 2% every week, 1 to 2% every week in here. So if you look at it, usually it's in the red for about 4 or 5 weeks right here. See, 4 or 5 weeks. So I got 4 or 5 weeks to pull out 1 to 2% every week. So on the low end, 1% 5 times would be 5%, and then 2% take out profits in 5 chunks. That would be about 10%. So you take out like 5 to 10% right there in that red area before it even goes up higher. So those are just estimates, guys. It's not perfect, it's not exact, but it's enough to get you started. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Tam, in Hong Kong. Gurgis G. Yeah, I remember you trolling me back in 2015. I don't know where you've been. I kind of missed you, because I think you were like one of my top trolls back then. I was kind of surprised you didn't troll me until now, man. Where you been? I'm glad to see you back. I'm glad to see you alive, man. I loves my trolls, man. I loves my trolls, right? So I'm kind of. I was actually wondering where you were at, man. So I'm glad to see you back, bro. I hope you made some money following our channel. I don't give a shit if you guys troll me or not, man. Make some money while you guys are trolling me. Don't be one of those fucking dumbasses that follow our channel and don't make money, man. So if you follow us, whether you follow us to trade, you follow us to troll us, you follow us because you hate us, I don't give a shit why you follow us. But make sure you make some money when you follow us, okay? Stefano asks, is Thailand a good country to retire for crypto cash out? I think it's I think it's a very good country because you get a lot of value for your money in Thailand, right? Daniel J asked if I lock up Polkadot for crowd loans in order to get the free crowd loan tokens. I'm very cautious, guys, because Polkadot, Cardano, Ethereum, Cardano, any of those coins, they are high value coins to me. I don't like risking them to go make 5 or 6 or 7% on different airdrops and different shit like that, guys. I keep it in a hardware wallet. I stake it, right, until it's time to sell. I don't like fucking with those coins because I don't know if those new coins are going to be a rug pull or a scam or not. And to me, it doesn't matter what interest rates or what yields they pay. It's not going to be more than what I make when Cardano or Polkadot or Ethereum goes up in value. It's not, guys. Okay? So, Gergis G, my top troll back in the last bull market, he says, happy you're doing good and your well-earned success. I appreciate it. I wish you success too, man. I don't give a shit if you troll me. Just troll me. I want you guys, when you motherfuckers are trolling me, I want you to be a wealthy troll when you guys are trolling my channel. I don't want you guys trolling my channel and walk away a fucking broke ass, man. That's some fucked up shit when you're trolling a fucking successful trader and you end up broke. Don't fucking be doing that shit, man. You can troll me. Don't stop. I don't want you to stop. Keep trolling me if that's what makes you happy. But be a wealthy fucking troll, man. So that, you can go brag to the other trolls online that say, you motherfuckers are trolling some poor, broke motherfuckers. You should have been trolling Ty Zen and become rich like him. Look at me. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should strive for, right? Okay, I told you guys, don't ask me about the coins, nothing. Ask me about the trading questions, all right? I got a question here from Tim in Dallas. Do you take profit, just leave it alone to grow up your portfolio is very small, where you are in a situation one and far from retirement? Okay, so he's asking, like, if you have a small portfolio, Ty, like with $5,000 or $10,000, should you like keep it there or take profits? So taking profits means I take the money out and I have intentions to spend that money to pay my bills, buy a house, buy cars, whatever, okay? When I say take profits, that's what I'm taking it out for, to pay for my living expenses. However, do not be confused about selling and taking it and putting into cash in US dollars or stable coins so you have it available for ammo to buy cheap coins when they crash 90%, right? So I might have $1 million portfolio. It goes up. I'm selling and taking profits to fulfill my personal financial goals. And you have 10,000, right? And it's time to take profits. The analysis shows that we need to take profits. You will still take profits, except you're not going to use that money. You're going to take profits and hold it there in your ammo bucket, right? You're going to hold it there in your ammo bucket and use it as ammo when the market crashes 70, 80, 90%. That's when you come in and buy your coins back. Buy some cheap altcoins. So we're both going to be selling, but I'm selling to fulfill my personal financial goals because I have a bigger portfolio. You have a smaller portfolio. You would sell it and hold it, right? And this is very important, guys. If you're in a Western country like in the U.S. where they tax the shit out of you, right? Let's say that I sell, right? I have Bitcoins. And let's just say it goes up to 100,000. And then if I don't sell it and it crashes to 50,000, I'm going to be hurt, right? Well, I have to ask myself, is it worth it if I sell a Bitcoin, if I only have one Bitcoin, it goes to 100,000, I sell Bitcoins at 100,000 and it crashes to 50,000. If I sell it at 100,000, I have to pay at least 25% taxes to the US government. So now we have 75,000 left, okay? But if I keep the Bitcoin there, it goes up to 100,000, it comes down to 50,000. If I'm willing to hold it for the long term, and you have to be honest with yourself, guys. Like when I bought all my Bitcoins in 2013, 14, 15, 16, I said, I ain't selling this shit for a long time. Like if I had to hold it for 5 years, I didn't give a shit, right? Because I understood the technology. I saw the value in the Bitcoin technology. So for me to hold it for 5 years, I didn't give a shit, okay? So if you invest in a coin and you cannot hold it for more than a year, 2 years, 5 years, like I bought this condo, this luxury condo on the riverfront in one of the best condo units in the whole country of Thailand, right? I got a river view. I got 8 swimming pools here. I got like 2 sky pools. I got an Instagram pool. I got 3 family pools. I got a 50-meter sprint pool. I got everything. If I have to keep this condo, I paid it off. I don't owe anything on it. If I have to hold this $1 million condo for another 10 years, I wouldn't give a shit, right? Because I bought something that had value. See, the problem that you guys are having is you guys are buying coins that you don't see any value in it. Okay? And that's why as soon as the market crashes 30, 40, 50%, you guys are panicking, right? I bet a shitload of money on Charles Hoskinson. I bet a shitload of money on Vitalik Buterin for Ethereum. I bet a shitload of money on Gavin Wood on Polkadot, right? I'm betting on these guys, man. So I am not in a rush to sell them. Now, if I need to fulfill my personal financial goals, I need to take out that lump sum, I will sell. I don't give a shit how much faith or how much I trust these guys or how much I have confidence in these guys. Me quitting my day job is more important than me trusting, Charles Hoskinson or Vitalik or Gavin Wood or any of these guys, okay? However, after I take out 5 or 10 years so that I have 5, 10 years worth of runway, I don't have to panic sell or anything like that, then I can be patient. I'll wait 5 years for Charles Hoskinson to do his job. He's going to go down in blockchain history as one of the greatest blockchain engineers in human history. He's going to be, guys like Charles Hoskinson, guys like, Gavin Wood, they will go down in history like the guys that invented the light bulb, like Thomas Edison, like the guys that invented the diesel engine. There's guys that invented like Nikola Tesla. That's how Charles Hoskinson and Gavin Wood and Vitalik and all these guys are going to go down in history. So do you think that if you bet on Nikola Tesla, you need to sell anything within a year or 2 years? No, you don't. If you guys bet on Elon Musk, do you guys need to sell within 1 or 2 years? No, you don't. When you invest in Elon Musk, you can feel safe that for 5, 10 years, he's going to do his best to make sure that your stocks go up. Okay? You don't have to panic sell when there's a blip in the markets. Okay? So that's the reason why, if you ask why we can hold it through these long-term markets, to this bull market, it's because we bet on people that we believe have real talent and real value in the market. The number one thing that all my Vietnamese students thank me for in Vietnam, all our Vietnamese students, when they got in and enrolled into our cryptocurrency investing blueprint course, and they've been with us since 2019, they've all made over 10x on their entire portfolio. Okay, most of them. Most of the ones I talk to, they've all made 10x. They call me up and let me know. I don't call them up and ask them. They call me and thank me. They never imagined making this kind of money, right? And you know what the number one thing that they thank me for? They said, if it hadn't been for you, Ty, I would not have held it this long. I would have bought Bitcoins at 5,000 and sold at 6,000 or 7,000 already. So they thank me that for them to buy Bitcoins at 5,000 and sell it, and still hold it to 50, 60, 70,000, to them, they could never imagine doing that because nobody in Vietnam does shit like that. For Cardano, for them to buy it at 6 cents, 7 cents, 10 cents, and hold it all the way to $3, they thank me for that. Because if it hadn't been for me cracking the whip on them and encouraging them to hold, you gotta hold. Okay, when you don't have a lot of money, you gotta let time work in your favor. You gotta hold it so that the coin has time to grow. Okay, so me guys are just selling too quick. All right, let me see. I got a few more questions here from our private coaching students. Okay. All right. So we have a student says his goal is $18,000 a year. He needs $18,000 a year, so he must be living outside the U.S. He needs $18,000 a year, and he says he currently has $10,000. He asked me if it goes up to $28,000, should he take out the $18,000? For me, it depends. If I'm still young and I'm still able to go to work, I would not take it out that soon because if I'm a young guy, I assume that this student is a young student because most of our students are between 18 and 34. That's why I assume that. I'm 50, so I'm going to assume that this is a young trader. And if they put it in 10,000, it goes up to 28,000. I would not take out 18,000. Now, would I sell 18,000 and put it into a stable coin or a USDT or a US dollar or a euro and hold it to buy coins after they crash 90% in the bear market? Yes, I would. But I would not spend that 18,000. I would just continue putting it back into the market and let it work for me. Okay? Especially if I can continue working a day job and I'm young, then just work the day job. If you don't like that day job, go find a different one. But when you're young, when you're in your 20s and 30s, there's no rush to retire early. What are you going to do in your retirement? What are you going to do? Let's say that he does take out the 18,000 and retires after his portfolio grows from 10,000 to 28,000. He takes out 18,000, expense for 1 year. What good is that going to do for 1 year? Right? That's too small. That number is too small, guys. I seriously would not consider retiring or quitting my day job, whether I'm in the U.S. or outside the U.S. I would not consider it under 100,000. Under 200,000, I would not consider it. Okay, I would not consider retiring until I had like $200,000 in my portfolio outside the U.S. Okay, bare minimum at least 100,000, and then if I'm inside the U.S., I would not consider any kind of retirement unless I had like close to $500,000 or more in my portfolio. I'm just giving you guys rough numbers. It's not perfect, but just rough numbers because I don't want you guys to quit your day job and be stressed out. Okay, because you're gonna make a lot of bad moves if you are stressed out. Right? If you don't have enough runway, you're going to be stressed out. And when you're stressed out, you're not going to make good trading decisions, right? Okay, Mike says, how do you mentally recover from losing 80% of your portfolio because of leverage? Don't use leverage. I've lost millions of dollars before trading on leverage in crypto. The leverage is not mature, guys. The margin infrastructure is not mature. Do not do it. If you don't know how to trade, I want you guys to think about this. If you don't know how to do heart surgery, why would you go buy or borrow the scalpel or anything like that from I'm gonna stop the screen sharing, guys. Why would you go and borrow the scalpel and doctor's equipment to go do surgery on someone if you don't know how to trade, right? The fact that you don't know how to trade and you're going to use margin. Margin is borrowing money from other people to trade. If you don't know how to trade, why do you need to go borrow money from other people for? What's that going to do? If you don't know how to make money, how does borrowing money from other people help you make more money? How? I don't understand how that's going to work, right? So I would not do that. Okay, and just so you guys know, when I do the margin trading, I'm testing the margin infrastructure, right? Because our lawyers said don't teach anything or don't do anything with our students unless we've actually done it ourselves. So that's the reason why I go out there and test different amounts, different things, and it's just I just don't feel comfortable about the margin because I haven't figured out how to use it. I know how to use margin in the stock market, in the forex market. I just haven't figured out how to use it in the crypto market yet. Okay, that's why I don't recommend it. Bitcoin Jedi says, in the bull run in May 2021, I took out 50,000 at the top and wiped out 100% of my debt, plus a little more to live. I would not do that. I would never fucking use any of my crypto profits to go pay off stupid debt. Okay, because that is the worst thing you can do. That's like taking money and going to give it to a crackhead. Okay, money, you never put money, go after bad use. Okay, debt is a bad use. Okay, that does not make you money. You're better off taking that $50,000 and leaving it in the market, right? And putting in DeFi and earn 7 or 8%. You're still better off than paying off debt. That's just my opinion. That's not a right or wrong. Just I wouldn't do that. Okay. Okay. Frog asks, how many percent of your portfolio did you sell for taking profits? That's it depends upon your personal financial goals, man. You guys are asking me how much. I keep telling you, go back to it. Okay. Mr. Udall asked if I had one BTC, one Bitcoin, all in total worth of portfolio, would you go BTC maximalist and only hold that Bitcoin through the bear market? Yes, I would, because Bitcoin is the only coin that has been proven to survive, to crash 90%, like 6-7 times in 6 or 7 different market cycles already, and come back and set new highs. So because of that, you want to go into the bear market with Bitcoin, right? You don't have to hold Bitcoins during the bull market, but you definitely want to hold Bitcoins through the bear market, because it's the only coin that's proven it. And some of you guys might jump on my ass and say, well, Ty, what about Dogecoin? Dogecoin, survived the 2014 bear market, the 2017 bull market, and it's gone up in every bull market and set new highs. Yeah, I agree with you. You want to fucking put your life savings into a joke coin? Motherfuckers, they told you it's a joke. You want to put $1 million into a joke and hold it through a bear market? You think that's a smart thing to do? You think that's smart for me to tell you guys, oh yeah, go put your money into a fucking joke and your life savings and your retirement money into a fucking joke and hold it through the bear market? Do you think that that's smart for me to do that to you guys? Right? You guys want me to pull some fucking Superman bullshit on you guys, or some fucking BitBoy crypto bullshit on you guys, or what? If you guys want that bullshit, go watch those other fucking channels. Okay? I ain't gonna tell you no fucking bullshit like that, man. So yeah, I would hold Bitcoins. That's why, if you ask any of our students, we've been telling them for the longest time, reduce the portfolio down to like 4 or 5 of the top tier coins, so we can ride out that trend longer. You will make more money with 4 or 5 coins if you can ride out that trend, versus having 20 or 30 altcoins in your portfolio, and then any blip, the fucking goddamn coins crash 80-90%. Okay? Frog said, when I take out 1 or 2%, does it mean from my entire portfolio? Yes. If I have $1 million, when I take out a little bit profit, a little bit at a time, that's 1% times $1 million is 10,000. 2% times $1 million is 20,000. So there's there's a pop in the market. Okay, I'll take out 10, 20,000 there, 10, 20,000 there, right? Ashwani from India says, since the market has corrected twice and most of the altcoins have not come back up, do you think we have a healthier bull market now, which can last longer? There's no telling, right? So remember, guys, nobody knows when and nobody knows how much. So the question that Ashwani is asking me is one of those 2 questions, right? Do you think we have a healthier bull market? That's like asking, it's the same as asking, hey, you think that the market will go up better? Well, how the fuck do I know? I already told you guys, nobody knows when and nobody knows how much. Okay? And then when he goes, do you think we have a healthier bull market? That's the same as asking, do you think that the market will go up? Right? So nobody knows if the market, how much? Is the market gonna go up? I don't fucking know. Who the fuck knows? It's a game of probability. It's a higher probability that we're gonna go up because of the technical analysis is pointing at a 45-degree angle. But there's no guarantee that that's gonna happen. And then when Ashwani asks, Do you think the bull market can last longer? That's the same as asking when. When do you think the fucking market is going to end? When do you think the bull market is going to end? When do you think that the bear market will begin? When do you think the bear market will end? See, that's a when question. Nobody knows the answer to when, and nobody knows any. I don't care how you fucking rearrange the goddamn words and the questions. If it's a when question or a how much question, nobody fucking knows the answer. Right? Okay, Debbie McNair says, thanks, Ty. Your analysis is much better than technical analysis. This live has really helped me. Thank you so much. Hey, that's awesome. That's what I ran to hear, guys. Right? I'm really happy to hear that, Debbie. You know, if you guys notice, I know technical analysis. I just don't do a bunch of it on my channel because that's going to confuse the shit out of people. And technical analysis only makes up like 5% of your entire trading system. So why would I focus on that when there's other components of your trading system that's 100 times more important? Okay. Another one asked me, it's funny how you don't talk about dead shitcoins like Chainlink anymore. I don't talk about Chainlink anymore because I sold it, right? When I had to consolidate my portfolios, I have to ask, okay, I got all these coins, right? Chainlink, it's made me a lot of money, but am I going to hold Chainlink through the bear market if we crash from here? The answer is fuck no. That's why I got to sell it. It's simple. I feel like I'm repeating myself for fucking 3 hours here, man. Wick 20 asked, if I have $1 million in profit, how much would you recommend to cash out? I keep telling you guys, it's your personal financial goals that's going to dictate that. I cannot tell you that. Nobody knows. Only you know. How much do you need? Like, what amount do you need to change your life? If you say, hey, Ty, I hate my fucking day job. I want to quit, right? Well, how much do you need to quit your day job? How much runway do you need so you can feel comfortable to live off of that runway money until the market, your portfolio grows up some more? Is it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I don't know. That's why I can't answer that. Stop asking me how much profit to take or when to take it. I don't know your fucking situation, right? Frog asked me, how much of your personal portfolio, what percentage of your portfolio have you already sold? It's not that I don't want to share that with you. That fucking question doesn't answer any goddamn thing, man. If I told you I sold 50% of my portfolio, how's that going to help you? If I told you I sold only 10% of my portfolio, how does that help you, Frog? That fucking does not help you, man. You got to ask questions, guys, that fucking help you improve your trading when you talk to another trader. Stop asking questions that don't help you personally, okay? My personal financial goals are different than yours, Frog. If you ask me how much percentage of my portfolio I already sold, it doesn't fucking matter because my goals are different from your goals. The size of my portfolio is different from the size of your portfolio, right? So there's no way that I can tell you that if I tell you I sold 20% of my portfolio, that's going to help you. It's not going to help you in any way. The only thing that's going to help you is that if I tell you, hey, this is my personal financial goals, right? And when the market gave me an opportunity right here, Frog, I had an opportunity to take it. And this is how the thought processes that I calculated in my head to make the decision to take the profits out. That's all I can say. But asking me how much of my portfolio I sold, that doesn't fucking help you anything or anybody. It only helps me. You got to know when what a trader does only helps him and nobody else. And that's one of them. Okay? All right, guys. I'm going to end it up. Mr. Udall says, Ty Zen, you're a fucking legend. Thank you for always being honest, right? And I'm going to end it with that, right? I'm going to end it on a positive note. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me here for over 3 hours on this live stream. I did not expect it to run this long, okay? But I had a lot of questions. Taking profits is the biggest fucking section in our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, okay? I think I mean, if the course was this big, this much of it has to do with taking profits, exit strategies, okay? Because that's the number one question. When we first created the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, I thought the students wanted to learn how to pick the right coins. So we spent a lot of time we share with you guys a method called the VC Man method. And the VC Man method is our fucking badass way of doing fundamental analysis to find a high value coin, a high value team, a high value project that's solving real problems, right, to invest in. That's what we thought. That's what we focused on in the cryptocurrency investing blueprint version 1.0. But in the cryptocurrency investing blueprint 2.0 that just came out in December of 2021, just last year, it took us 3 years to update that course because I went through like 5 years of our coaching chat group, and I noticed that the fucking most common question and the thing that people struggle with the most was figuring out when, how, and when to take profits. So when we built the cryptocurrency investing blueprint 1.0, we thought that our students wanted to learn what we thought was important to our students. It turns out it was not. What's important to them is how to take profits. So it took us 3 years to update the curriculum to explain exactly and clearly. So everything that I possibly know about how to take profits in crypto with a 7, 8, and 9-figure portfolio, right, is in the cryptocurrency investing blueprint version 2.0. That's the only version that we offer now is a 2.0, and you can get a copy of it at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Go get your copy. Stop fucking around and trying to figure out how to figure it out on your own. You're going to waste a lot of time and money. You want to shortcut your way to success, right? Get it while it's on sale, or I think our team reduced the cost of it for the Chinese New Year's because everybody kept bugging us, asking us why we didn't do a sale during Thanksgiving, during Christmas, and all this shit. So we just did one just so that you guys can be happy, right? So we did that. Get your copy and stop trying to fuck around and figure it out on your own, right? And that way you can speed it up and shortcut the time it takes you to learn how to trade, all right? Follow me on Twitter at HeyTaiZen, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. I'm going ahead and end this broadcast now.